Previously on Lord's Van, take 2.
You guys started out by having a fancy dinner party with Vlad the Bloodthirster and Integra and many plus ones.
God, he sucked.
Yeah, I was about to say this went all right at first. And that's all I'll say about that. From there, the focus shifted to malediction and her new let's just call them employees, as she ran them through a gauntlet of tests.
Only 2.
And today we actually continue with that gauntlet of tests, as we're going to transition more or less immediately from where we left off. Now, Lita had a solo session that only lasted about a day. She did a lot of things in that day, so for the purposes of keeping in canon, we're actually going to skip ahead to that day. Now, Grant, since you do have to be somewhere, and I do believe you have to duck out earlier than Charlie does, we are actually going to start with you.
Alright.
Actually, no. Oh, I'm an idiot. Before that, I need to roll for your guys' random mission.
Deliver milk? What the fuck? There's no cows.
Oh! Okay. What number is that? Oh.
22.
How do you roll a 22 on a 20-sided die?
Very careful.
Very easily.
Okay. Enzo. Word has reached you through your newfound friendly allies in the church that there is apparently a group of about 20 to 30 witch hunters whom you are aware of, who have, regardless of what you, Anderson, and the field marshal have tried to say and convince the general population, still are very set in their prejudices and outright refuse to work with the mages, regardless of whatever you, the field marshal, Anderson, or anybody says to them. So yes, there are 20 to 30 of them that you are aware of right now, and they are just flat out refusing your orders. So,
It's like the third Dirty Harry movie.
I don't even remember the third one.
There's like 5 of them.
Alright. But anyway. So yeah, Temme. Well, you decide on how you're going to deal with that. So Malediction said she had something that she wanted to do with you, and yeah, Malediction would not I don't think would know where to find Nox, but Burchill would, and they were collaborating a lot at the end of last session. So for the sake of simplicity, if it's okay with the two of you, I'm going to say Burchill, you took Malediction to see Nox. Is that okay?
Sure. Yes, follow me. He's in the basement of the brothel that isn't owned by either me or Lita.
Yeah. All
right. So, since you've been absent for a few days, Nox, when Burchill takes Malediction down into the basement, what do they see?
Oh, but it's been a few days or a week. How long exactly?
I'd say about. Actually, you know what? I'd say about half a week, like 4 days.
All right. So does that? Do I have like both the people from the other country and all the college students in this country, and all the dudes that know how to do the magic to help the cooking process go easier?
Oh yeah. At this point, you do. I forgot to use the random name generator to come up with the mages you asked for, but I'll do that as you need them.
All right. So basically, think about like industrial laundry. Only we're cranking out like some war weapons. We're cranking out some bombs. We got the one halfling in his own corner cranking out the health potions. And I'm just kind of overseeing it all, make sure no one's dead. You got like water and fire mages ensuring the temperatures are just right and that the water is boiling correctly and that everyone's wearing protective gear. Like everyone's basically wearing a version of like not quite the plague outfit, but at least something protective, you know?
Interesting note on the mages you asked for. you're not sure whether this was intentional or not, but you got about 4 elemental mages, and each one of those 4, like, while they can use all 4 elements, they specialize in a different one. Like, you have one that specifically specializes in fire magic, you got one that's specifically water and earth and wind.
I guess wind will help us keep the vents circulating, because I know Chara
But-
probably had a ventilation system, but
Yeah.
everybody
Well, like,
else-
yeah. But yeah, like, they are multi-purpose, and they can fill the other shoes for when you need them. But yeah, like, their specializations is in each of the 4.
Alrighty, so yeah, and then you got Nox. He's still in his. Anytime he's in public, though, he's in that disguise. So,
Mm-hmm.
looking like the one German or the whatever
Mhm.
Belgian doctor, whatever he was.
All right. So as the two of you descend into the super lab from Breaking Bad, you see a full team of mostly scarring guardians working on various chemical concoctions that Nox has been instructing them to make, and they are mostly making explosives.
Yeah, they're making the fire bombs because that's easier for like the regular soldiers to use. I'll have a right now we're focusing on those, and then we'll work on like the frost bombs later and acid and everything else in between. It's just today's a fire day.
Mm-hmm. And also Burchill and Malediction, because neither of you have seen this guy before. Like, this is the only one that really stands out. Like, you see, there's like a bunch of people in scholarly robes, like, working for Nox. One of them has like this really elaborate gold mask that when he turns to
God.
look in your direction, you like see like the mask is like etched to form a face.
That guy's here.
But yeah, like, that's the only one that really stands out to you, other than the 4 mages.
Alright, now probably best not to touch anything. I don't intend to either, because I don't know how fragile this stuff is.
Oh no, I've been in specific drug labs. This is actually really tiny than ones that I've seen.
Look, I'm just saying, I don't know. Look, I don't know if this stuff will just, like, fall apart if I so much as breathe on it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have some poison resistance, but inhaling's never good.
You got Nox in the corner just sniffing every concoction. Nope, not good enough. Put more.
Oh, this smells great. Huh? Does it smell like chloroform? Let me check. Yep.
Did you just sniff that, Dr. Fritz?
Yeah. What
No,
about it? You didn't
I
add enough.
inhaled it.
More.
That was arsenic.
And it wasn't very arsenic-y. There's too much cyanide in it. Send it back. It's fucking raw.
He's like, You heard Dr. Fritz! Do what he says!
There's like a chalkboard that says, "Do not use your textbooks. Use my formulas." Like,
Your formulas just say, I'm better than you.
They give him they give Nox a cup of Kool-Aid. What's better than Jonestown?
Damn, son.
Coincidentally, there is actually a giant chalkboard in the room so that you can properly direct everyone.
yeah, I've got.
It wasn't here. It wasn't here originally. Your gold-masked friend brought it down.
Yeah, essentially, it's got all the formula. Like, cause like I know some of these guys are all from a college. I'm like, oh yeah, you might have read how to make this, but this is how you're actually gonna make this. This is practical. This is from like someone who's spent like over 40 years in the field fighting monsters. But yeah, that's I didn't know Gold Mask was here. Great. I guess he's like the one whipping him in shape.
Kind of. He's a professor at the College of I believe Chemistry and Alchemical Studies he's down in Skarngard, so he's kind of in charge of all of these guys, but he's still beneath you, so he'll do whatever you say, but he's above them.
Alright, was I able to get my own like little personal office? Because I know the Halfling guy's got his own corner. Do I have my own little office so I can work on my stuff?
Sure. Yeah, there'd be plenty of room.
Because yeah, I'm the one that's handling the phosphorus. No one else touches that, otherwise kaboom.
Mm-hmm. Also, is the kobold in a cage in here with you guys? Just curious.
I don't see why.
Or is he still in the other place?
I need him because like I still need to like I was talking to the one dude about the replicating spell or like something because we still need a lot of scales, but nothing's yet.
So is he or is he not in the room?
Probably not unless until we can get that a way to replicate the scales because Otherwise, he'd be picked clean.
All right.
We'll focus on napalm later.
But yeah, Malediction, you wanted to talk to Nox?
Dr.
I mean,
Fritz, remember?
For a secondary mission of training, right there. Okay, so Nox, not to interrupt your little drug program right here, which very cute, very small.
Did you guys walk into my office?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, I'm still in the Dr. Fritz persona when you walk in.
Mhm.
And that's why whenever you say Nox, I'm like,
I don't care. Okay,
I
Dr. Fritz. Did you tell Malediction that your name is Dr. Fritz?
Yeah, we've used
Yes,
it
he
before in
did.
public.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
he
Okay,
used it
Dr.
War
Fritz.
Council meeting.
Yes.
Okay, for one, very cute little drug operation right there. Very quaint. Two, I'm probably going to need your help a little later for training some of my people.
Me train them?
Well, you ever heard the term enhanced interrogation?
Yes, hold on, I closed the door. Yeah, I've used that quite a few times.
Yeah, they're going to be training on to resist the effects of certain drugs. So I'd like you to concoct up some of the most fucked up shit you can. I mean, if they can't handle that, how useful do they expect it to be to me?
Most, if you put it like that, the most fucked up stuff I can make, they won't be alive. But I can.
Okay, then don't kill them, but like I imagine you have truth-related shit and other stuff that makes their lips a little loose, so to say.
Yeah.
Nox, you do have truth serum. You've used it multiple times.
Stuff that could enhance pain, stuff like that.
Enhance pain. Oh, jeez. Hold on, I'm just thinking of all the stuff I got. I'm like,
Honestly, with what we're dealing with, they got to make sure they can resist the elves.
Well, there is also other few things that'll help enhance their senses. I just need a few water deprivation tanks built.
All right. Because, yeah, mostly this whole secondary one. I'm currently working on one with Lita and Gabrielle.
We'll get to the two of you in a second.
Yeah. Lita and Gabrielle on another one. This one will be specifically enhanced interrogation with both yourself as well as Enzo. You do the drugging, he does the torturing.
Out of character, do you
Although
want me
I've
to...
got to say, this realm does have some of the smaller bits rather than Night City did. You could do a lot of fucked up shit there.
I mean, the drugging torturing is an idea, but how do we? Oh wait, Enzo. I was going to say how we know this person that won't just tell us what we would just want to hear.
That's why we go with a truth type of serum. Because I imagine that exists here.
Yeah, I've made it before.
Burchill, you actually recall like when you captured Alphonse, like Nox was there with you. He ejected truth serum into him that made him tell you the answers. So yeah, you've seen Nox use it.
I am aware that
So
it
yeah, never mind what I said.
Besides truth serum, do you want us to... I got other things too. I got Sweet Dream. I've got some Molly, which takes away all the magical effects. It also leaves them a bit dazed. I've got a few things to make their mind weaker if you want to build up resistances.
That could be useful. Do you have anything that trap related? I'm gonna have them go through a gauntlet of magic traps, and throwing in some gas and other related stuff could be useful.
Hang on a second, let me look and see what I've got. I do have some trap stuff. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Knock goes into a folder. Let me see what I got.
Like it's like
I had something.
sarin gas.
What? That's
It would not surprise me if Nox had the recipe to sarin gas.
Does he want it? Here you go.
I mean, mustard gas is only a minor irritation.
Mm-hmm.
If your phone can give me the recipe to mustard, but then again, like we don't have any cans to order unleash it on a massive scale.
I mean, how many people do you need?
Chlorine and ammonia? Peggy, that's the recipe for mustard gas.
Yeah, but even if we had chlorine and ammonia, we don't have gas canisters. That's the one thing that we would need to release it on a battlefield.
Well, you see, that boy ain't right. He's not surviving mustard gas.
Where is it? I got trap stuff. Where is it? Frost? No. I've got obscuring mist, which I could throw into a battlefield, and then you can pelt them with like rocks or something. I've got alchemical glue. If they step in it, it's basically like sticky tape for people.
That could work.
I got alchemical grease. Make them slip all around.
Oh, it's a little greasy over here.
I can make them do this gauntlet like that. Let's see. I can. You can always spray them with Sweet Dream to see if they can build up their fortitude, so they don't just pass out from immediately smelling it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. I just got caltrops, but you probably got those.
I probably do.
I got a bear trap, but I don't. You can get those from somewhere else. Let's see.
Yeah. I've got human skin.
I don't think you want me giving them any plagues I have.
Well, sometimes you just need to build up a resistance to the plague. Totally.
Blinding sickness. Oh, you're permanently blinded. Now you're better.
Okay, here's the ultimate test. Just call yourself Isekai of Tempest, because you're going to be blind.
And on fire.
And on fire.
And getting punched in the back of the head.
Mm.
Let's see. If you want me to psychologically, go into their dreams, I could do that too when they go to sleep without them. They think their training's over, and then I enter their dreams.
Hi. Knox.
Hmm?
Yes. Let's do this. I want to make sure they could survive the psychological torture similar to what I survived over in Night City right there. Their training regimen, this is baby shit. Mine, that was a fun, fucked up time.
Sorry? Question
For
mark?
my torturers, not for me. That was not a good time of the year. No, not a good time at all. But that made me the way that I am today.
You know, I feel like after this is all done, you could just sit down and write a book of what the fuck happened to you in those 5 years.
Oh, it wouldn't be hard. That'd be several books.
Also, this world's technology, God, that culture.
I mean, these tests will be easy. They don't have to deal with cameras or tripwires or sentry guns, robots, all this sorts of shit. They don't have.
I have no idea what all those.
Although the downside is they can't turn themselves completely invisible like you could over there. Well, mostly invisible.
Actually, they can't. Nox, I think you know how.
Yeah, I know how to do it way better than technology. Even though
So,
I'm using technology.
So I'm just saying that for you, Nox. They can. You know they can.
Yeah. In the other world.
I'm better than you. Made of.
Hang on, let me look at my formulae list that alchemists have too. Let's see, Pathfinder, Alchemist.
While you're looking through that, do you want to jump over to Lita and Gabrielle for a little while?
Yeah, I'm just gonna see what kind of stuff I can get for.
All right.
Get back to you, Mike.
Nanomachines.
All right. So while that's going on, Lita and Gabrielle. So for the sake of simplicity, I'll say that Lita, you did take Hattori's advice and take a day off, but Gabrielle's come to talk magic with you, so this is technically not work.
You took a day off of pegging Hattori for this.
So
you know who likes it.
Smart ass.
So for the two of you, for this challenge that Maledictionist says she wanted, just a reminder, she wants to have her guys break into some place that's decked out with all kinds of traps, magical and regular, to keep them on their toes, and she's asked you guys to set up the magical traps. So yeah, do you guys have any ideas for this? Is there anything you feel like you need to discuss, or do you got any questions for this?
When I'm setting the spells, do these need to be spells that we've already learned, or can I just...
Yes. Yes, because you guys are going to be setting up the traps, they have to be spells that you know. And Zach, I do believe that you were teaching Gabrielle the rune magic that you use, so that these spells
Yes.
can be set up as traps and delayed.
Yes.
So the way this is going to work is that we're going to treat it as like you are casting the spell, but you're casting it onto an object that can be detonated later. But it's still your spell, so it's going to be using your DC. Which, just a reminder, the DC for a spell is, I'll type it out. But yeah, the DC to beat a spell is 10 plus your spellcasting modifier plus the spell's level.
Alright.
So yeah, so basically just like pick your spell, you cast it into this object, and the DC to beat the trap will be your spell save DC.
Alright. Let me see.
Also, Zach, you mentioned
Yes.
before that you were going to teach Gabrielle your rune magic. Was there
Yes.
anything that you wanted to learn from her?
If you know any spells level 7 or higher, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I know one level 7 spell. It's Hold Person Mass, but you need Hold Person, I think.
I
before
have
you...
hold. Oh, there. I have hold door. Never mind.
I mean, hold door is still good.
Hold door.
Also, I'm not sure Hold Person Mass would be useful in this situation since we're targeting individuals. I assume they're not working together.
I mean, if more than one person is in a room, you could, in theory, hold them all.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I have like putting them to sleep or dazing them, overwhelming grief. I think those would be useful in this situation. Bungle.
All of those would be useful for psychological torture.
Yeah.
I've got.
So did you just want a list of the spells and where we're putting them?
Yeah, just like a list of more like a list of the spells you want to use and like what type of traps you're making out of them. Like for instance, like is it a tripwire? Is it like just a rune on a wall or a rune on a floor? Like I'm sure you've seen in those movies where like they're stepping into a room and they just step on the wrong plank of wood and it just like triggers a trap.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like what spell you guys want to use its DC and what type of trap you want to make with it.
I guess for the sake of flavor, as Lita would basically be explaining at least how I, the player, understand how the runes work.
Well, I mean, you made the system up, so go right ahead.
Basically, I'll do this in character. Mm-hmm. Lita basically has like parchment paper out and like inkwell, like all graphites to all the all that, and basically explains that every spell has its visual, verbal, its verbal, its spell components, and all that fun stuff. That being said, the way rune magic works is you are basically translating the spell into a form that can be controlled from far away. In Alfear, what they used to do was they would transcribe spells into blades and shields and armor to basically create warriors and the like who could basically activate spells at will. It's also how they recorded some of their history. And those that were very talented mages, before the collapse of the old gods and the rise of the creator, you could effectively transcribe entire spellbooks onto walls and tapestries, and you could learn just by staring at them.
Fascinating.
Then monotheism caught on, and, well, it. Yeah. But so basically, as she explains, like all you're doing is basically transcribing the spell into a visual symbol that basically keeps, like, basically it is the in the beginning of there's a sound, there was the sound of the word. Basically, you're translating the sound of the spell into a word. Like how we call, like, it, at least this is how Lita explains it to, at least this is how Lita understands it. Spells are given names, but that's just what we call them. That's not their actual word. And that if you know the spell and can master it and have mastered the spell, you can effectively know its true word.
Which, Gabrielle, for you, this rings out especially true since you took the wizard class and not the sorcerer one. But like, most if not all spells have like verbal components associated with them. But one of the things like you were always taught, like as a spellcaster in this way, was like if you have to say a spell aloud, say the spell in the language that you're most comfortable with, and in fact, most spells are taught in the Elvish language, just because the elves came up with this system first. Like they understood it better than most of the other races. So like the like arcane. I guess you could call it the arcane language that's used for casting spells is based in Elvish. However, if you're more comfortable casting spells in Common or in another language, they just tell you to use that.
Okay, good to know. So from now on, will I be able to use runes to do any of my spells remotely as long as I have adequate prep time?
Yes. Because yeah, this is something you have to make in advance and set up accordingly. This isn't just something you can cast in combat, unless you did make the rune ahead of time and decide I'm going to use this rune now. Because Zach has done that at times.
And Lita will. Well, actually, this is the first rune Lita learned, and she will, as the whole thing of the master and the teacher and the student. Lita is going to pass on the first rune she ever learned to you, so now you have access to it as well. If I can draw it. Oh yeah, I picked that pen. It actually works.
Also, I just want to throw this out there for you guys. I will give you guys the option to teach each other new spells. However, the amount of time it actually takes to learn a new spell, according to the rules, is 1 hour per the spell's level.
If you want to blow shit up. Because this is the first one Lita learned.
Okay.
Yes, it is the Berserk symbol. I really like that symbol.
Hey, Berserk is awesome.
But yes. And for the sake of this thing, Mike, I am not going to be using any explosion runes because I don't want your people to lose fingers.
I mean, you can grow back fingers here, right? Or replace them.
That's a very high-level spell.
And? Think of it as a learning exercise. You literally asked Maledicture about that. That's her response.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't use any fingers.
Well, Zach, Gabrielle, since the two of you are setting all of this up, it'll be up to you if you want to blow people's fingers off.
Coward.
Seems a little mean, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, these people will need them later too. Probably we want them to use their hands.
Well, it's tryouts right there.
I mean, the entire purpose of this test is to break into somewhere and steal something. So they kind of need their fingers for that.
Mm.
There you go. Then don't lose your fingers.
Oh dang.
Don't know
Hey,
what's
Mike.
so hard about that.
Hey Mike, for your for later
Mhm.
on when you're using your spies against the enemy, since they got mages, I have something called spell resistance. I can make give them 12 plus
Yeah.
my level of to add to their scores against spells. So 12 plus 16 or we're 15, right?
15. Yeah.
So that's 20, plus 27 against spell resistances when they're out in the field.
Yeah, that's pretty much one level higher than my racial ability.
Yeah, that'd be for everybody though, at least. So
All right.
add that.
All right, so Mike, since this is the something that you're organizing, I'll ask you, what test do you want to run first? Do you want them to break into somewhere first, or do you want to do that enhanced interrogation first?
Well, do the spellcasters need time?
Well, I mean, both the spellcasters are going to need time, but Nox is also going to need time to brew up the concoctions for the enhanced interrogation. So, but both are going to need time to set up. So, really, it's all going to depend on what you want to do first.
Well, the best thing is I'm gonna need a house to run the
Lita,
test right there. Points directly over at the bitch's house. I'm gonna need that house. I'm gonna
do you
need
mean
that
Integra's
mansion.
house?
I'm gonna need a bunch of guards right there. I'd like to requisition that mansion right there. Points over at the bitch's house.
So, Integra's house.
Integra's house.
Okay, so because malediction specifically asked for this, Lita, you as field marshal, you can requisition Integra's mansion for this purpose if you want, and you can also order guards to be stationed outside, and you do not have to tell them why they are stationed there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
No, Lita will. She'll sign off on this. I mean, we are going to need. Well, Lita will bring this up to malediction.
yeah.
I understand utilizing Integra's house, considering.
Yes.
However, wouldn't it make a bit more sense to set up sort of like a camp? Considering that.
Logic into this.
Well, Lita's bringing this up. It's like, look, I get why you're doing this, and I'm all on board. However, I'm just pointing out here, wouldn't it make more sense to set up a military encampment situation and have them try to sneak into that?
Fine, we can do it that way. But we can use her house as a testing ground for any of the spells that we need.
Zach, as field marshal, the decision of what place to use is ultimately yours. Like, malediction is in charge of training these recruits. The decision of how they're trained is up to you. So yeah,
actually,
do you want to set up a military encampment, or do you want to use Integra's mansion? It's up to you.
Well, here's a thought to introduce this to malediction.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in Integra's office a lot, and her office overlooks her grounds.
Mm-hmm.
We could set up a military encampment in her private garden.
That could work. Because we'll need a bunch of guards to do basic security right there. Nothing too fancy. And then, specifically as they get deeper and deeper in, they'll be going through more and more of the magical traps in that way. And ultimately, the strongbox will probably be in the highest tent, so to say.
Getting a safe is not difficult for you guys. You can just requisition a safe from anywhere.
Yeah. And Lita brings us up to malediction. And you can be sitting in Integra's comfy chair watching the whole proceedings from up on high.
Oh, that'll work.
Hey, Mike.
Let's do it. And then after this, we can do the enhanced interrogation.
All right.
Hey, Mike.
Okay, so we're starting out with the break-ins.
Mike.
All right.
I have sent suggestions in the chats.
Yes.
I just came up with locations, not knowing exactly what it looks like, but figured there are doors and floors and things.
I mean, you can still do all of these things. Like, it's going to be set up as however you want. Like, the entire point of this is that it's an obstacle course that they need to get through.
But yeah, Mike, I got.
Sounds good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
What What are you suggesting?
Alright, if you're gonna be doing the obstacle course, I can give each one of them something called rubber skin, and that's gonna. Well, hold on, wait, I just had it. Alright, so your skin becomes more elastic, distributing crushing damage effectively. For the duration of the spell, a bludgeoning and falling damage is converted to non-lethal.
Well, does Malediction want to give anything to assist her recruits?
No, I'm talking about when they're running the obstacle course, you could just start pelting them with rocks and shit, and they're not gonna die.
No, this is a stealth mission. This is not a take damage. If you get caught, you already failed.
Oh, so you don't want no damage distribution? Alright, I'll take that off then.
If they get caught, that's an automatic failure.
Okay. I'll give
actually,
Tanglefoot to that.
If they fail all 3 steps, they're out of my unit, and they go somewhere else.
If we're outside,
Like, let's say Flea fails this test and fails the interrogation. Flee's the fuck out of my unit. They're worthless. Get rid of them. They have no promise.
throwing this out here, Mike.
Yes.
Since we're doing this outside,
Yes.
I could rig a couple of explosive runes and shove them in the ground, and as they're running, they could set them off.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So you just to put them for the ringer involves goddamn landmines.
Hey, if they can't be stealthy enough to not set off landmines, then they're just not very useful in this army.
Are you sure you don't want the rubber thing to make sure they don't die in this obstacle course?
If they can't bother to set off landmines, then there you go. Hey, we have healers on hand.
Do we?
I asked Enzo for healers.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
I mean, they'll take a week to arrive right there, but that's fine. You don't need your legs for a week. I love Ken's expression, because I gotta imagine that's Burchill's expression during all this, like, what the fuck?
Do you want
Burchill in the back of his
Mal,
mind. Is it bad? I
best
prefer
not
the angsty.
Mal, it'd be best not to critically injure soldiers.
They're not gonna die. But think of the scar. How cool that could be.
Oh. I'm gonna throw this in here because I don't.
But yes,
I'm typing this
we've
out.
done all the spells.
Mm-hmm.
Let me type up a couple more for me.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Oh, that is devious.
I mean, I could be somewhat nice.
All right. All right, Zach. What do you got? I see you're typing, but you haven't posted anything.
No, I'm
yet.
typing it. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I mean, well, for doing this test for them being stealthy, which, again, I'm not down for the idea of the explosives in the ground, but I don't know, maybe get some of the people working for us to act as guards, like, I don't know, like, say, me and Sultan or something.
Yeah, you could be guards near the strong box, right there.
Mm-hmm.
It is directly, because we want basic ones, but as they go through, it'll be tougher and tougher, that type of thing. And if we don't want the explosives, we could do just gas or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's up to Lita. She's setting up the traps. Do you want the actual explosives, or do you want gas?
Fine, we could be less fun. I mean, not fun. I mean, we could be less harmful.
How about
We
instead
could
of...
use the explosive rooms, like, on the elf army, just not on our own people.
That sounds like quitter talk, but okay.
Hey, lady, can you set off another different... I got a different bomb on mine. I got Tanglefoot bombs.
I mean, it depends what type of bomb it is. If it's literally a bomb that's just in a glass jar, like the explosion could
Hey,
set
Mike.
off. It could.
Perch on the corner.
set
Why
off
does
glass
it feel
jar.
like I'm the voice of reason here?
Hey, Mike,
Yeah, I was
question.
supposed to say, when the fuck did Burchill, of all people, become the voice of reason?
I think-
Hey,
Always been the voice of
Mike,
reason.
question.
Yes.
You want to turn this into? Do you want to turn this into Resident Evil 2?
In what way?
I could have an unseen figure roaming around the camp.
Well, if you wanted to turn into Resident Evil, I can help with that.
No, we're not. You're not creating a hunger flesh trap.
To survive the hunger of flesh.
Actually, for when we figure we could just do that for Sultan, just make Sultan Mr. X.
I was just gonna say, if you want to do this as a Resident Evil 2, you need a Mr. X.
I can get
Where'd he go?
That'll make him look bigger and more intimidating.
Oh my
Where'd he
gosh.
go? Give me a sec here. Okay, you're gonna wear this. Gives him a trench coat and a hat. And if you lose your hat, Sultan, you get even more angry. But if you catch them, feel free
I
to
do not understand. Why do I have to wear this?
You have to get the library
for
books.
flair.
Okay, what am I gonna put this on? Oh,
You are a super pissed off librarian trying to get the books back by any
You
means
have to
necessary.
go,
Piss
you
off
have to go with the
librarian.
mind of a dead Club Penguin enthusiast.
Yes.
if I just
A piss off librarian who apparently doesn't have object permanence.
Yeah.
Yet he remembers about the books.
Where'd he
Sultan has gained a new homebrew perk. Every time he walks into a room, X gon' give it to you just starts playing. It's not something that you guys can actually hear. It's just for the sake of the audience. Whenever Sultan is in the room, X gon' give it to you. It's just going to be playing.
okay, hold on. I gotta check the. Sorry, I have this written down, but I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. The description.
With what?
Gonna
Yeah,
use
get
steel
the
voice,
back,
so they
oh,
can't
but-
call for help.
but-
No.
I get the dark joke, but Sultan already has a theme. Eye of the Tiger.
Ah,
Well, if he's going to be Mr. X for this test, whenever he walks into the room, it's got to be X gon' give it to you.
mash them up.
Anybody have an alarm spell?
Yes.
Whenever they open
I got a
When you
actual
open the
alarm.
chest, set off the alarm spell. And then they have to escape.
Well, it's not a spell, but it's actually just an alarm, so it's like something physical.
Yeah, that could work.
I realize if you want help with
fail
the
to notice the alarm and it goes off, then there you go.
Hold on, I gotta look that up. What it is?
Mike,
Yes.
I realize I would do a few spells we are going to use. However, if you want help with the interrogation,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of.
Well, we've already decided we're doing the break-in first and the interrogation
Right.
later.
And last one.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm thinking of more.
Like one of the Pathfinder sites is like having gateway issues right now. I can't find a lot of the shit I'm looking for.
It's very popular now.
Yeah.
A lot of their spells are on Roll20.
With how
Oh.
with how much D&D fucked up, Pathfinder's a very popular site now.
I know, but the gateway's crashed, so I can't look at all my Alchemist features. I was lucky to get the damn formulae list, so I can't find what Tanglefoot Bomb does.
So while they're setting all of this up, Enzo, is there anything you want to do, or is there anything you want to do with the information I gave you at the beginning of the session?
Throw them in the water.
Sure, while they're setting that up, I'm going to call Anderson in my office.
And Anderson arrives. It takes him a little bit because he's a very busy person, but he eventually does find his way to your office. It's like, you called for me, Archbishop?
Anderson, I heard word that there's a group of dissenters among the witch hunters. I'm not putting. I will not put this at your feet. You cannot control the hearts of men.
In all honesty, sir, this was inevitable. I mean, just look at everything we've done. There are always going to be some who just did not accept anything we would have to say.
Absolutely, I am in a complete agreement, Anderson. The fact remains is that we cannot let this continue. So I have a plan in mind to rectify the situation. However, I will say the plan will be somewhat extreme. If they're not going to listen,
extreme are we talking?
if they're not going to listen to our words, they must listen to our actions.
And we'll see how hungry a horse can get.
Does this group of dissenters have someone leading their charge, or are they just all thinking the same thing? One person maybe who's encouraging the rest.
It's like, well, Well, for right now, from what we've been able to gather, it's mostly just a group of people with similar ideas. People who have their own biases against magic and who hold on very, very strongly to the word of the Creator, and specifically the Church of Eternal Fire. That's what it is right now. I'm in agreement with you. Left unchecked, it will only be a matter of time before someone rouses them to action.
Yes.
For now, though, it is just dissent. Left unchecked, this could get ugly.
So my extreme action is that we make an example of one of them in front of the rest.
In what way?
I'd rather not. But I'm thinking that we may have to remove the holiness from one of these fighters.
He just stares at you silently. Just like,
Enzo stands up and turns to the window, facing away from Anderson. I did say this was an extreme idea, but I'm also at my wit's end with people who don't listen.
also, it's not that I disagree with you. In fact, many of the witch hunters, particularly the younger ones that joined in the time of Maxwell, are let's just say overzealous. They believe that a blade speaks more volume than words.
Let me see. Well, I can easily do that. If they prefer action, then I can give them action.
Should we perhaps inform the field marshal of this? If this does turn into something ugly, that's going to spread out beyond. It's going to spread out beyond the church, and she's going to hear about it eventually.
Eventually. But the only thing she'll hear is whether or not she has 30 infantrymen or not.
Understood. So for now, you just want to keep this in house.
Yes. If I go crying to the field marshal for every problem I have, then I will not earn the respect of anyone in this church. Or anyone outside of this church, for that matter.
It's like... Understood. I'll have some of the people I trust to do a bit of investigating. So we'll see if one of these people is louder than the others.
I appreciate that, Anderson. Thank you.
Okay. So, while Anderson is doing that.
Enzo's going to go for a walk into the city at this time. Okay. Just to take some fresh air. It's been a while.
I'll save that one for.
Alright, so while you're doing that, I'm going to take a few minutes to copy and paste everything you wrote and put this in an order of what is where, so that I know which traps they encounter and in what order.
Yes, the thunderous drums does damage, but mostly it's to knock their ass prone. It also makes a fuck ton of noise.
Okay.
There's so many traps, no one's gonna steal this object.
Well, I mean, you don't have
I
to
can
use
do it.
I mean, you don't have to use all of them, or do you? Well,
But it would be.
do you want to use all of them?
I don't know. Maybe.
Remember, this is a elven camp. A lot of magic could be used here.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the actual elven camp, it's got one spell protecting it. I feel like we over-prepared. I feel like we didn't prepare enough.
Just
I mean-
if you want to keep them on their toes.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong you're not wrong in thinking that you should prepare them for magic. This is still Syria. Many of these people have not dealt with magic on a regular basis.
Because I crave violence.
Man, that's what
Okay.
the nightmare does.
I crave it. Yes.
All right. So for doors.
The doors.
So when they're going through this course, do you want them to have any enhancements at all, or are they just gonna have to get through it on their own?
I could be nice and give them basic shit that they could take.
I got something called Spider Climb Communal, so they'd all be able to follow you if you're leading anything.
I mean, I'm not leaving anything.
Okay, so maybe
Yeah.
later for that. So no Spider Climb for the obstacle course?
No spider climb.
Okay, what else I got?
I'll give them a bunch of points based on equipment they could get, because shit's expensive. So they're going to need to choose they're going to get a point total, and then they're going to have to spend those points specifically on stuff from you. What they think could be useful, what they think that out. So if they could get spider climb, they could get all these other ones for resistances, but they won't be able to get all of them. The better they are, the more it costs.
And I got all the.
Are you creating a low-level MLM?
Hey, if you pay into the pyramid scheme right there, I mean, if you pay into this membership, you get to sell the most premium of Tupperware.
Of course it's a pyramid scheme. They're scamming you. That's how you know the legit bad guy group.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hail the good god Amway.
Oh God. All right, here we go. Do you know, Mike? You know how to set up like alarms and locks and stuff and everything? I got all the rules right here.
I assume.
Yeah, because if you get an average lock, you need a DC 25 in order to disable device. A good lock is DC 30. Superior lock is DC 40.
I mean, what's my disabled device? Oh, my disabled
I
device is 13. So there you go. So on average, 15, 28. Let's make it a 25 lock.
Average lock, okay.
Okay, so also, what object are they going to be stealing?
A sending stone.
Okay, so they will be stealing a sending stone. Luckily, you guys have a broken sending stone from a recent misuse.
Yep.
Here's your
Yum,
award.
yum.
It's worthless.
Yum.
It's less than worthless.
Okay.
And was someone going to use the alarm spell, or do you want some actual alarms? Because I got those too, like bell wire alarms and stuff.
Oh, do you think the elves would use actual alarms or a spell?
Probably both.
Probably depends on the camp.
Yeah, I got bell tripwire trap, and also some wire to go along with that. So basically, it's like just something physical if they can't see it. So let's see, perception needs a DC of 20 and a DC disable device of DC 20 in order to make sure it doesn't go off.
Okay, Zach,
Yes.
you suggested steel voice as a tripwire.
Yes.
Where do you want to have this tripwire set up?
Oh, good question.
I'm trying to list out like which of these traps they'll encounter in what order, so I know what DCs to roll at what time.
Probably actually do that one at the very beginning.
You see, in my tests, everyone gets involved with training the people.
Well, I guess with this in mind, since this is taking time to set up, like all the party members will find out about it in time. So, Burchill and Enzo, is there anything you want to contribute to this?
Like I said, Burchill will be acting as a guard for the sending stone.
Yeah, both of you basically will be guards near the inner room, directly right there.
Okay. Okay. So for guards, we have Burchill,
And then a bunch of like average fucking guards for like the rest of the place.
Average guards. Okay. Let me go through the rest of the spells first, and then we'll get back to that. Okay. Modify memory on the safe.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
And I'm trying to pick for non-lethal things to use. Well, I do have 2 pairs of bolas, so I can use those. I may have a 3rd pair, but it's explosive, so I ain't using that.
Non-lethal.
Yeah.
Non-lethal. What's non-lethal? I don't understand this term.
I don't know. Seems very.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
When it comes to the interrogation,
Yes.
I might be able to help a lot more than with the traps because I lived with the elves for a time, and I could do we could do some disguise shit, and I could basically pretend to be a member of the elven army interrogating their ass.
One thing at a time. Let's just focus on the break-in for right now, and then we'll worry about the enhanced
I
interrogation.
know. I'm just sitting here thinking like,
Okay. So, Charlie, you suggested seeming and silent image. Where did you want to place those?
So seeming, is there a mirror somewhere
There.
or something reflective?
You're setting this up. So if you want there to be a mirror, there can be one.
Yep, I'm gonna put a mirror somewhere. It can,
Just random mirror somewhere.
random mirror somewhere. In fact, if we could have a couple mirrors, I do have 2 different mirror traps, but I could have them both on the same mirror.
Okay. Okay. So I'll list this as walls. And silent image. Is this also a mirror trap?
That could really be, no, that one could really be anywhere. That one will actually make it seem like something is in the room. It doesn't have to be in a reflection.
Do you want to put it in the room with the safe, or just out, or just in the halls somewhere?
Maybe in the hall somewhere, like outside guarding.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to make
I don't
this.
know, I don't know what monsters exist in this universe. Something very large
make
and
one-
scary.
Make one up. You know the elves have devils, so they probably have other monstrosities working for them as well.
Okay, I'll consult Google.
Okay. Okay, Elixir of Truth, not really going to be useful for the break-in. Thunderous drums. Where did you want to set that up, Zach?
do a perimeter bottle trap.
Perimeter around the safe room, or just perimeter in general?
Perimeter in general. Because if they fail the DC, they get knocked prone. And it makes a fuck ton of noise, so they would have failed their stealth run.
There's a lot of horrifying looking Pathfinder monsters.
Oh my god, pick all of them.
Yes, there are.
Pick the one that's the most nightmare inducing.
Okay.
Maybe that one.
I don't like it.
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay.
It's adorable.
Okay, sure. So like they trip silent image, that appears.
And on the plus side, if they fail the test, they get knocked out and immediately go into the next stage.
The nightmare.
Interrogation.
It can't actually hurt them. But it can scare them.
Nah,
And
I
then
would
we
give them.
grab them while they sleep.
I would give them a couple test runs on it to actually prove themselves, but you know Mike, you know what you do? Give them a time limit on how, but you can complete this course as many times as you want. You have a time limit though. You can't do it within a day. You're going to the interrogation rooms because you were captured.
Brazil.
I'll give them 3 chances to do this test. Directly right there. Give them specific time limit. If they fail...
Mike, are you sending all of these guys in one at a time, or are... so like everyone has to run through this on their own?
Yeah.
No help.
Why would I work on my own. I don't work with other people.
But what if they work with other people?
Well, then they belong in the wrong unit.
Mm-hmm.
You want some namby-pamby bullshit? Then you're not coming here.
Okay, good to know. Okay, so hold on. Nox, you have the nightmare potion written here. Do you want to set that up anywhere, or like what exactly did you want to do with that?
It's basically just the advanced form of dream. It's basically where I go into someone's dream and do stuff. So it's
Oh,
not
so
like any
okay, so that's for
dreams.
the okay, so that's for the enhanced interrogation. Okay.
All I need to know is maybe see the people and like at beforehand, because when I know the person, it's like the DC goes like almost to 0. Because if it's someone I haven't met, then the DC is higher for resistances. But whenever I've met this person, I'm going in your dreams.
Well, I mean, if you want to watch the tests, like if you want to watch the tests, you'll see each one of them.
That'll be sufficient. Hang on, I'm getting more stuff down.
Okay. So also for the bell tripwire tap, or do you just want to set? Where do you want to set this up, Nux?
Wherever the obstacle course is, probably around where the thing they have to steal.
Okay. So.
Like along.
Okay. So. Okay. So I'll put this under the safe category. Okay. So. Your obstacle course is set up. You guys I'll say you guys there's a lot in this already.
I know, but this is more traps for the obstacle course. There's Alchemist.
I mean, this is why I'm getting everyone involved here. It's a collective effort.
Okay.
It's our obstacle course.
Yeah, glue traps for people. That'll work.
Where do you want to put this?
Mike's the one that absorbs the obstacle course. I'm just giving him the tools.
Well, I mean,
he's chemical grease.
As part of this, you all get to see the obstacle course before they go on it, so you get to decide where this would be best used.
And best to take suggestions. If anyone has suggestions on better usage of place, there you go.
So yeah, like Grant, where would you set this up?
Well, probably where they're not looking at, like maybe where the obscuring mist is, and then if you guys are able to, do you want the stuff to be passive, or do you want to be throwing stuff in whilst they're not looking too?
Passive.
Alright, so if there's no obscuring mist, then just have it on their floor. If they're like focusing on one trap, they might step in it.
Yes.
Alright,
Here's
so
grease. Oops. Yeah, alchemical grease will be good to make them slip and fall probably maybe down a hill.
Oh no, it's a little slippery out here.
Alright. Can I have the save DCs for both of these? They're based on your DC. They would be based on your DC.
They are? Oh, I thought it was written in there. Hang on. Oh yeah, I just got my crap.
It's in there for the alchemical glue. Sorry, I didn't see that at first. For grease, what's the DC for that?
You coat yourself in it and you gain a +5 health.
Mm-hmm.
What the? This isn't what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually beneficial. Take out alchemical grease. This is basically greasing yourself up in order to get out of enemy hands. I thought this was something else. Yeah,
okay.
Hold on, let me erase that then.
No, that's fine. All right. So I'll say for the sake of this, since this took a day or two to actually set up. Lita, you've had your day off. You've had your powwow with Gabrielle. Like Anderson's doing his investigation. So I'll say for the sake of simplicity, all of you as a party are set up in Integra's office, overlooking this obstacle course that at Malediction has had you guys set up, and are watching these guys go through one at a time. So, Malediction, as these are your recruits, you get to decide who goes in what order. So who do you want to send in first?
Well, we'll start at the top of the order, right there, of the NPCs under my command. Vest goes first.
Vest first. Okay.
And I can't find Tanglefoot Bag because all Pathfinder sites are down, so...
Okay, so... I mean,
really? I was just on Pathfinder site.
Okay, we got enough. So, starting from the top. Burchill, since you're walking about the grounds with the guards, and I'll just say you're very aware of where the traps are, so that you don't step on any of them by accident. And so is Sultan. I'm gonna need you to roll a perception check for me. And I'll roll one for Sultan.
Yeah.
That's a grand total of 39.
Okay. Okay, so first up is Vess. Okay. There's a lot of things I gotta roll. Okay. Let's see. Wait. Okay. So here's what here's what happens. So you send in Vess. Like within the first few moments of the beginning of the test, and like Burchill, you're part of this, so you're involved, but the rest of you, you're all watching this. Within the first few minutes, she sets off the thunderous drums on the outside, and the guards come running. However, taking advantage of this, Vess runs in an opposite direction and hides. So the guards do not see her, but they are alerted to a specific area. So they know there is a break-in, but they're off.
Must have been the wind.
While they are all focused on that, Vess actually does manage to get inside. Sorry if I'm not going through each and every trap. It's just you guys set up so many. If I did that, we would be here all day. So, but yeah, Vess actually manages to get inside, past Sultan, who rolled a natural 1 for his perception check and got caught in the whole person trap by accident. So he's currently being held. But yeah, Vess actually makes it all the way into the room with the safe, where unfortunately that is your downfall. As Burchill, you walk.
Should I roll to throw the bolas at her?
No. Just let me finish. So Burchill, you actually walk past Sultan and see that he walked into the hold person trap. So you just for a moment go like, hey. But then suddenly from that hallway you hear steps, which is odd because Sultan is being held. And following the steps, you get all the way to the safe room, where Vess was about to open the safe. Unfortunately, Zach, your modify memory spell. What did you change it to? What do you have it changed the memories to?
This is evil. I love it.
I changed it to the memory where she is convinced that she already lockpicked the safe, grabbed the sending stone, and has it in her pocket.
Oh.
So yeah, Burchill, as you're walking towards the safe room, you actually see Vess run out of there and right into you. Roll to throw those bullets.
18.
All right. Let me see what her DC is. Okay, so that is a hit. She needs to roll a reflex saving throw, which unfortunately she's good at. Which unfortunately she's good at. I'm very sorry. So yeah, you do hit her, but unfortunately your bullets only get around one of her ankles, and she just bolts past you. As she's moving past you, I will allow you to roll a grapple check.
They still do damage, and I rolled a 4 on the D4.
Okay, so she takes 4 damage, but like she bolts past you, seeing that her cover has been blown. So as she's running past you, you may roll a check to grapple her to try to stop her.
Okay, this is strength, I guess.
Yeah, this is strength, and she's going to roll reflex to try to avoid you.
18.
You tied. Wait. So even with your modifiers, it's an 18?
My strength is only +1.
Okay, because she rolled a natural 18, and since it was a reflex throw for her, she actually rolled higher than you. So she actually manages to get out of your grasp and keep running. Now, one more check. Does she make it to the end? No. What gets her on the way out? Let's find out. Let's. Hey Nox. Oh wait. I forget which one of you wrote this. What does Psychic Leech do?
I don't know that one.
That was mine.
What does it do?
Expression when you said that.
The target experiences feelings of ennui and lethargy, becoming fatigued for the spell's duration. Let me check exactly what that means.
No, that's fine. I know what it means. So
Okay.
So on her way out, just like running past Burchill, not paying attention, Vess triggers one of the psychic leech traps in the floor and is suddenly fatigued. And it is this fatigue that allows all of you to, as she gets outside, effectively just dogpile her. And as a twist to the knife, when Vess gets outside, she finds that she did not actually have the sending stone on her person. All right, that is Vess. Who's next?
Flee.
Flea. So, Burchill, I'm going to need you to again roll for perception.
Just
Okay.
no, I know it's like that's still in my inventory. Who do I forget to give that back to?
That Lita gave that to you, and it was meant to be a gift for Rowan. So you can just give it back to her.
Okay. Yep.
But all right. So what I need you to roll perception for looking for Flea. Holy shit.
Okay, that's a grand total of 23.
Okay. Oh dang. So, you learning a bit from what happened with Vess. Flea, you actually don't see hide nor hair of him, at least at first. However, in wandering through the obstacle course with Sultan, the two of you find. Well, you find it. Sultan rolled again for dumbass. Not a natural one, so he's not caught in a trap. But you point out to Sultan that the silent image trap has been activated. Didn't make any noise, so you didn't notice it at first because, again, silent image. But yes, there's a giant monster in the obstacle course with you. So that trap has been triggered. And going over to the safe room, you find that the safe is in fact opened, and the sending stone is gone. Now, does Flea get out? Surprisingly, he does. Flea actually manages to get all the way outside, and Flea passed. I did not expect that one, but yeah, Flea passed.
Damn it.
All right, Creed's turn. Roll me another perception check, Burchill.
Okay. 32.
Okay. This one is actually kind of funny because like what happens this time is none of the you see or hear none of the traps go off, and for a second it feels as if that he might pass this time as well. But then like as you pass him, you notice Sultan's ears perk up. He doesn't say anything, Burchill, but like as you're wandering around, suddenly you just hear and just you and a few of the guards rushing over to see Sultan has knocked out Creed with a single punch. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Creed has failed.
Well, not looking too good for that one.
It is now Cereza's turn.
Looks like the king was no match for Sultan.
Nope. Alright, it is now Cereza's turn. Second verse, same as the first, Ken.
Uh, 24.
So here's what happens. You do actually hear a trap go off. And again, I'm going to paraphrase this because you're part of the test. You have no idea who's coming in what order, so like it could be anybody. But just like it starts when you hear a scuffle outside, but then you and a few of the guards go off to see, and there's nothing of note. None of the traps have been set off. So all of you just go back to your posts. And then when you're inside, Sultan actually points this out. The sleep trap has gone off, but there's nothing there. There's no. It doesn't look like anybody's been affected. So if a few more of the guards come up, looking around, you still find nothing. What did you roll for perception this time, Ken?
24.
Okay. So. But yeah, like Burchill, it suddenly dawns on you. Something happened outside. There was no one. Sleep trap went off. There was no one. It occurs to you to just go over and check the safe room, where you actually see a guard walking around in that direction, a very tall guard, and then suddenly at that point it occurs to you, none of the guards that Lita requisitioned for this obstacle course are women.
Oh my bolas.
Okay. Okay. Roll to hit. Let's see if she can get out of the way. Oh, okay.
30.
Okay. This is. Here's what happens because it's kind of hilarious. So you actually witness like the door to the safe room is closed, but you actually watch a guard walking away from it, and there's a moment where your eyes meet, and you realize who it is, and then the Kill Bill music starts playing in both of your heads, and at that moment, Cereza, disguised as a guard, just bolts and just keep.
Cereza?
Yes, yeah, Cereza. She knocked out one of the guards and took their outfit.
Isn't that Rowan's girlfriend?
She volunteered.
Huh.
But she bolts and does an epic action flip upon where you throw your bolus. Unfortunately, you rolled better than she did for hitting the bolus, so despite doing the epic action flip, she falls anyway. So
The West Time confirmed. Virtual solos the universe.
So yeah, like that's exactly what happened. She tried to do a witch time dodge, but like you hit her anyway. she falls. She is going to attempt to cut the rope of your bolus with a knife that she had snuck into the test.
It's a chain. It's a chain, and Cloud says that it can't easily be broken or untangled.
Okay, so she's still going to attempt it. Unfortunately, it is in fact a chain, and the time it's taking her to do this, Burchill, what do you do?
I can break these cuffs. You can't break those cuffs.
Burchill watches that going, just yells down like, "You're out."
She got close. She had it in her hands.
She had what in her hands?
Yes.
But she did actually have the sending stone in her hands. She had it, but Burchill caught her before she could get away. It is now Boris's turn.
All right. Make him humble.
He's gonna do Russian stealth. Watch out, he's gonna beat the shit out of you guys.
He's got a gun.
Yep, Burchill, you do not actually know it's Boris, so again, roll. So again, I need you to roll perception.
You saw it.
33.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. What happens next is very odd. Almost as soon as the test begins, every single one of the thunderclap traps outside as the thunderous drums traps outside are all set off, and all of the guards are running. But again, there's no one. You don't find a person though. What you find instead is a single bottle of half-empty vodka, just sitting on the ground. And then inside, it's just absolute chaos as every single trap is set off all at once. But again, you find no one. And at one point, you, Sultan, and the rest of the guards are just like, where the fuck do we look? Where is this guy? What route did he take? Because like it really does seem as if everything has gone off at once. And looking at the safe, the safe door is closed. It doesn't even look as if it's been touched. But then malediction, suddenly you hear from behind you. Were you looking for this?
Very surprising.
So yeah, Boris succeeded, but only by managing to set off every single one of the traps on purpose.
Yeah.
That's Russian
Pass.
stealth.
Why do I imagine he just like Naruto ran through the whole course?
Mm-hmm.
The Boris run. Who is this Naruto?
Pass. Boris is Naruto.
Believe it.
All right.
Tatai Bayo.
Hagebushin no Jutsu.
All right. So it is now Boris's cousin Anatoly's turn. Okay. Burchill's second verse name is the first.
Just kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Before I roll, just discuss the image I found. The denim kimono.
What the?
The Jimono? The Jean Momo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, the Kabuki version of the stand is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so,
Johan, yes.
Mm-hmm.
36 for this round.
Okay. Okay. So a weird thing happens. Throughout most of the test, you don't see or hear anything. But then like after like an hour and a half, Sultan actually smells it first. You smell smoke. And then, like, looking through, you actually notice the boards where the alchemical glue has been set up are now on fire. And while you're noticing this, Anatoly actually comes up to you guys, the party, and just like, pass.
Pass too, huh?
So yeah, Anatoly managed to pass.
Fucking Russians.
Damn, these people must have had stuff because that was a 36.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, Russian. Well,
stealth
if
and all
there's
that stuff,
snow,
I
they're evil.
suppose. Well,
Well, there's no snow.
my bonus.
All right, Sergei's turn. Oh,
Well, they're good with
Burchill, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Passed. Got it. The ultimate pass is if you could do this without setting off any traps or getting.
Okay, this time 39.
Good number.
Okay. So for Sergei, he managed. You guys don't hear anything for a while, but then suddenly you hear the sound of what sounds like glass breaking from the safe room, and in that room, it appears as if the mirror where the burning gaze trap has just been punched, and there's blood left. So what's more the safe where the thing is kept, you even unlock it to check. The safe is still there. The sending stone is still there, but Sergei is nowhere to be seen. And you guys outside, you actually watch as Sergei supposedly passes and runs up to you guys, but fails to present a sending stone.
Yeah. He runs up. I got it. Check your hand. Where's the stone?
So yeah, he rolled. So yeah, he rolled really well to avoid all of you guys up until the very end.
Almost passed. Almost isn't good enough.
So I'll just mark him down as failed. All right, it is now Kolya's. It is now Kolya's turn. Mm-hmm.
What's the saying? Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
All right, go ahead, Burchill.
25.
Okay. All right. So here's what happens. Kolya actually he manages to get past the guards out front, but then he's actually hit by the overwhelming grief spell on one of the doors as well. He was also apparently hit by the steel voice, but it doesn't say in this description whether or not that makes a sound. But he is still hit by overwhelming grief, which does allow you and the rest of the guards to find him. Burchill, I want you to roll me a. I think this would be a perception check. This is a different thing. Roll me another perception check. Mm-hmm.
28.
Okay. Just okay. So we move on to Vasa. All right. Again, Burchill?
24.
In a similar manner to Boris, nothing appears to happen on the inside at at first, but then suddenly the guards are hit by the qualm trap, and then in a similar manner to Boris, except where Boris triggered all the traps on the inside, Vasa appears to trigger all the traps on the outside. Right. Let's see. When would you catch this? No, actually. But yeah, Vasa appears to trigger all the traps on the outside. So, like, while you're trying to shake the guards awake, Sultan actually does see Vasa and run over to catch him. But Vasa is actually really fucking fast, and he's able to actually outrun Sultan. So, like, for you guys watching outside, it's kind of this comedic moment where just like you saw no one go in, but then you see Vasa just running out full speed with Sultan chasing him, and he sets off all the thunderous, and the two of them just set off all the thunderous drum traps along the way.
I start playing the Benny Hill theme on my phone.
Regardless of all of that, however, Vasa with his quickness is actually still able to get away and present you with the sending stone. I don't know if you're going to count this as a pass or not, because he did get it, but he was seen doing it.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of what my rankings are.
Okay, so this is a pass. It is now Potato's turn. Again, Burchill, roll again for perception.
This time, expected the Falcon.
Okay, and it's a good thing too, because this is the only one of them that actually managed to sneak past Anaris or Malediction. So yeah, if there's ever a time to do that,
Exactly why I was saving it for her.
Okay. All right, go right ahead.
That is a total of 30.
Okay. So, here's what happens, and I'll leave it to you guys, the rest of the party, to see if you guys want to get involved in this or not, because Potato, it appears, has a very interesting method of going about this test. She sets fire to the obstacle course at like multiple different places. Like, nothing appears to happen at first, but then just fires start going off.
Ingenious.
Can this girl be a part of my people?
I didn't say no rule against fire.
Nox immediately.
You just like Potato. You just like Potato because she's a competent person.
Nox is like, I give her full.
No, I'm being fair.
Besides, in the universe, she has Space Marine armor.
Yeah.
Give that girl a cookie for ingenious.
So Burchill, with the obstacle course now on fire, what do you decide to do? Because some of the traps are starting to set off themselves.
Keep a lookout out for the person who started the fires.
It's like Potato, though, is very small and very sneaky. So like you actually have a hard time looking for her, and it becomes even more difficult with all the smoke.
You see a guy in a piano in the background.
No, Burchill, don't go into the weed cave.
Fortunately for you, Burchill, you activated your aspect of the Falcon. So
Breath control.
So looking through all the smoke and like keeping a hand over your mouth to keep from inhaling it, you actually do see Potato run out of the safe room. However, she also sees you, whereupon she disappears back into the smoke. Okay, roll a hit.
Even if she doesn't
18.
pass, I eventually got to give this girl some invisibility potion. She'll kill everyone.
Okay, Burchill, you you actually missed. You actually miss as Potato jumps up. Her feet hit the ceiling, and then she jumps down and tries to hit you with it. I think this thing is called a blackjack. I saw one of these once. It's like a club that's like this long.
What
Oh,
a
sap!
in the Thief series?
But yeah, like she tries to hit you with one of those. So she's going to roll to hit. She's just straight up attacking Burchill. A fight has begun.
Anaris in the background. Huh. Well, she didn't fail yet, but she certainly hasn't passed with flying colors.
All Lita can think is we had an army of these we had an army of potatoes. This war would have been done 5 minutes ago.
Does the replication spell make clones?
But unfortunately, Burchill, she rolled a natural 20, but luckily for you, it's not a sneak attack because you spotted her first. So
She's a rogue?
yeah, she's a rogue.
A rogue sniper, cool.
She's also the single greatest shot out of your entire army with those rifles.
Who the fuck is she? Simo Huckenhaya?
Yes. I don't know yet. I'm making her up as I go along.
Jesus.
Okay.
But that potato scares me.
Okay, Burchill, just by virtue of the nat 20 doubling her damage, you actually take 12 points of damage, and she just bops you on the head with this thing, and then just starts running. As she is leaving your space, you get an attack of opportunity. Because she did not. She chose not to disengage. She chose to attack you instead.
I have two bullets. So I'll throw my other one at her.
All right, let's see if she avoids this one.
That's a total of 33.
Oh damn.
Okay. You managed to hit her and entangle her feet, but then
She's a rogue.
something.
She's got an escape artist.
No, something interesting happens instead. She jumps up. She jumps up onto her hands and then jumps backward to try to kick you in the chest.
What are you?
If the bullets are just wrapped around her feet, I guess it would be grapple. Just grab her by the scruff of her shirt and just carry her outside.
Well, avoid the back kick. She's mule kicking you.
Well, I have to roll this. I have to roll to see if she hits with the kick first, and then you'll get your opportunity to grapple. Kid going on here. Burchill, what's your armor class?
28.
By the skin of your teeth, you just barely manage to avoid her. It's just like you see the kick coming as you just duck to the side. She whizzes past you. You have your opportunity to grapple her if you so wish.
19.
Mm-hmm.
This kid's going places. Not anywhere good, but places.
So you actually do successfully manage to grapple her. How are you grappling her?
I'm just carrying her by the back of her shirt like a baby kitten. What's with this sassy lost child? I announce as I walk out.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
So okay, Burchill walks out with this seeming and flailing lost child. How do you guys react to this?
It's like she woke up and chose violence this morning.
I imagine because of the. I'll just say because of nat 20, with the club, which was just bleeding from the top of the head.
However, malediction. Something interesting does happen. As Burchill just walks over with Potato held by the scruff of her shirt. Just as you're about to tell her to fail, she says this. Check the big man's jacket pocket.
It doesn't matter. You got caught.
She's got two more
Just
tries.
check it. Just
And
check it.
I don't care if you snuck it into his pocket right there. That's not on your side. You still fail in several ways. Lighting fire, very clever. Getting caught and then continuing to fight. No, you run and you get out. Or you try to get the objective in some way and get out without engaging and getting caught.
She's got two more tries.
Okay.
Fail. Don't worry, you'll get 2 more chances.
We just gotta
Next.
build the obstacle course.
Okay.
Throws Gaius in here. Why am I here?
Do you want to throw Gaius into this?
Yes. For funny.
No.
Wait, just throw him into the fire?
Yeah. Like he is next on the list. Unfortunately, over the course of this, most of these traps have been either damaged, destroyed, or set on fire. So there's only a few of them left, but there's still
He
enough
has
to
an
make it.
advantage.
Yeah.
Just run into the fire. That's your test. You gotta see if you can maneuver around death.
You must survive. Chaos control.
But wait a minute, Burchill has the sending, so that means he passed the test.
Yep, Burchill. Very useful pass. I wasn't even doing the test, man.
Burchill, before you even start with your patrol, Sultan just walks up to you, just carrying someone over his shoulder, and is just like, "Was I supposed to be looking for this?"
The legacy of Pill.
He rolled a natural 1.
He's inhaled too
God
much
damn,
smoke.
that's disappointing.
So wait, my brother-in-law rolled in that one, or Sultan rolled?
Yeah. No, your brother-in-law rolled a natural 1, and Sultan rolled high enough to find him.
He probably inhaled too much smoke from the fire that Potato said. He was like waiting his turn, and he's like asphyxiated.
Mm-hmm.
God, you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, disappointing.
Just like,
You left him in a room full of smoke. What did you think was going to happen?
And
all right, last but certainly not least is Aerith's turn.
Who?
Burchill, you do not actually have to roll perception on this, and I'm about to tell you why. Aerith chooses a very interesting method of infiltration. She actually does not sneak. She actually walks right up to the guards at ours and says this. It's like, hi. It's like, hi. It's like, hi. My name's. It's like, hi. My name's Yelena, and the field marshal sent me out here to survey some of the damages so that we might know what needs fixing and what needs replacing, so that we can run this test tomorrow. We received no such orders. Well, you see, after the whole last test, like the field marshal kind of changed your mind. Do you have a signed order saying that? Oh yes, I do. Here, you can read it for yourself. And you actually watch as she presents a piece of paper to the guard. He reads it, and then seemingly believes it as he just lets her in. And yeah, she just walks right past all the traps, and like Burchill, you just see her walking through the house and like examining the traps. What do you do?
So I don't even have to roll perception to figure out.
No, you don't. Like it's very obviously her. She made no attempt to disguise herself or hide her presence. She's just walking through and like pretending to. Well, you don't know she's pretending to examine everything. It's like, so yeah. What do you do?
I guess I'll just walk up, tap on her shoulder, and goes. I mean, good on you for tricking them, but did you think I wouldn't try?
It's like, oh no, I knew you would. That's why I have this signed order from the field marshal. She shows it to you, Burchill. I need you to roll a perception check. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 38.
This is a picture of Dick Butt.
Burchill. This woman is good. Very good. You have no idea where she got this or how she managed to do this so quickly. But if you didn't know any better, if you didn't know Lita for as long as you have, you could swear that was her signature, and that was her handwriting. This woman managed to perfectly copy Lita's handwriting and her signature and draft up a fake order saying that she was allowed to go inside here and examine the traps.
This is an excellent forgery. What do you also do report hazard and permission slips?
Nice.
She is going to use the disengage action and run away from you towards the safe.
I already caught you.
She's still running.
It's not
Oh,
allowed
she's
to
running.
children.
Unauthorized display of hubris, very well.
Just because you see a person in a game of tag doesn't mean they're out.
That's literally an Anaris being like,
Okay, roll for
29 to
bullets.
throw the bowlers.
Unfortunately, she rolled a natural 1 on a reflex saving throw, so you managed to get her feet, and she just falls flat on her face.
huh.
All right.
You know, realize with every person I caught, Burchill will be like, Delilah, how's it going? Man, I hope no one tells Delilah the Conta Hex news that I've been tying up women all day.
Nox just gets on the sending. Hey, Delilah, guess what?
Your husband's a kinky motherfucker.
All right, so that concludes the tests. And now, as much as I'm sure you would like to run them through all of this again, Malediction, there's a problem.
There we go.
Because of Potato's antics, most of this obstacle course has been destroyed. So yeah, you're gonna have to build a new one if you want to do this again.
That'll take a while. But, so, overall in the rankings, if you have a fail, you immediately are getting knocked out, grabbed for interrogation. If you have a passed, like, for example, Flea will get a day and a half of relaxation before grab. Failed gets grabbed immediately. Almost passed, like Cereza will get a day, Sergey will get a day, Anatoly gets a day and a half. Vanessa will get a day. There you go. They get a little bit of relaxation before they get grabbed for interrogation.
Do you want me to give them a nightmare so they're fatigued when they're grabbed?
If they badly failed or failed.
All right, so tell me who to
All
give
right.
a nightmare to.
Give a nightmare to... Yeah.
Well, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that in a second. But before we leave for a bathroom break, Enzo.
Yeah.
After you're done watching all of these tests, as you go back to your office, not Anderson, but one of the other witch hunters who introduces himself as Detective Halligan shows up in your office and hands you a list of 3 names of people you could make examples of. And you can think of how you want to go about that, and you guys can think about how we want to go about the enhanced interrogation after our bathroom break.
Yeah.
You heard of this wonderful man named Vlad the Impaler?
Yes. God, he sucks so much. See, there we go. I'm getting everyone involved in these tests. Everybody gets something to do.
I like how a lot of the characters have their own way of doing things, and even if they don't become your elite unit, we can use them elsewhere for other stuff.
Yeah. Potato's problem is they're up their own ass too much to think they're too good.
Well, also, she's a child, so...
And...
Well...
I was a child.
Anaris
was a child.
Hello, I'm Anaris, former child, and I'm
Anaris,
very sorry
former
about
child.
that. And I'm very sorry about that.
Anaris, former child, insane current person.
You are a liar!
What do you classify?
I know you guys want to take part in what happens next. Before we get to the enhanced interrogation, we'll cut back to Enzo briefly, where Detective Halligan, a fellow witch hunter that Anderson has introduced you to, has just handed you a list of 3 possible names of witch hunters that could be made good examples of. what would you like to do with these names, if any? And I'm asking you this now in case you want to somehow incorporate one or these three of these guys into the enhanced interrogation.
Ooh, we could have the cadets do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to, that's up to the Archbishop, since this is an in-house matter.
I'm going to invite all the witch hunters,
Mhm.
and I do mean all of them that are here in the city. And I'm going to have these three.
Uh-huh.
We're going to do it in the church. You know, I'm guessing it's not a day where there's congregation, so we're going to do it. I'm going to have these three sit in the front. And I'm going to have Anaris sit up there with me at the front.
Okay.
And they're all going to be spread out here. I don't care if not everyone there, but like I need a good amount of witch hunters here.
Okay.
So Enzo's looking out amongst the crowd. It's like, hello, brothers. Thank you for coming on short notice. The reason I've gathered you all here is simple. There is dissension amongst your ranks. Now, I've asked a very difficult thing of all of you, and that is to ignore prejudice and ignore what you've been taught and learned for so long. Now, I asked you this because there's a much larger threat on the horizon. Some of you have chosen to ignore my words. And since you have chosen to ignore my words, I will now demonstrate what my actions say. I understand that this will be painful to watch, and I apologize. I don't wish to do this. But these three men have forced my hand.
And with that, you watch as Anderson, with the snap of his fingers, like a bunch of other witch hunters who are loyal to you and him, they just rush over and like grab these three and just with them both kicking and screaming various obscenities, including blasphemer, heretic, and all of those pretty words, as they just bring them up to the front, and yet. And like none of the other witch hunters are daring to do anything just because of the presence of Anderson, because of the bad motherfucker he is.
So, I'm going to make a point of these three men. It's with a heavy heart that I must do this. Anderson, what was the crime for desertion?
And it's like,
It was death, just for your reminder.
okay, it was as dictated by the field marshal, execution.
Correct.
Specific
Now-
gallows.
I hope you all understand what that means, because that will be your new life. After I am done with you, you shall be infantrymen of the army in service to Lady Lita forward. Now, because of your dissension and your ignorance of the cause that we are trying to push forward, I'm going to remove from you the one thing that makes you you.
Ooh.
Just like, oh,
I'm going to remove your connection with the Creator.
Hmm.
I made this threat to all of the clergy previously when I said that we are going to do things differently for the betterment and the survival of the city. If you choose not to comply with my words, then you shall suffer the consequences of my actions.
it's like.
And with that, Enzo pulls out the stand.
It's like as you do this, one of the three, who seems to have a bit of courage, yells at you at the top of his lungs, "Your words are not the words of the Creator." You see,
You're right.
Excommunication.
I walk up to him. You're correct. These are my words. These are the words of a man who do not wish to see his city die. And so, for the survival of this great city and the center point of the Church of the Eternal Flame, I will do what I must to keep it alive, to keep the flame burning. And with that, I stamp his head.
I'm actually good. I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw for all involved because this is a pretty brutal thing to watch. Oh, some will look away, some look on in horror, so some are just like, what the fuck? But they watch as you burn the forehead of the first one, and like there's no immediate visual difference like at all, but like you can tell, and so can he. His divine powers are gone.
I then go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
If you wish, this is a mercy, because I could just kill you and let you see the Creator, which is also mercy. Or I can stamp your forehead, then kill you, and you will never see the Creator.
The second one just looks up at you, pleading, just like, what? What? Why did you? It's like, why did you order us to cooperate with them? They're an affront to everything we, our church, and the Creator stands for. Their power is unnatural. If you are a member of our faith, you must know this. So why have you allowed them into our country so close to our city and entrusted positions of power?
I lean down to him, and in his face I'm like, if magic is so unholy, then what are devils? And with that, if we were to say, I stamp his forehead. I'm like, you get to find out firsthand on the front line without your magic to see. I move over to the last one. For the record, I want to remind people, Enzo wears a pure white robe. He does not wear the traditional, like, red, heavy robes. It's the pure white robe. There's not even an accent of red.
Okay.
So just for the visual, like, Enzo's doing a very dark thing to these people in pure white.
Okay.
So actually, he looks over him like, your compatriots had words to say. Do you have anything left before I send you to the army?
This one just stays silent. He's seen what happens. He's got no words. Actually, he does. He looks up at you, and all he says is, with or without a connection to him, my faith in my God is strong.
I see.
That's all he says.
I put the stamp away. Let this one go.
He's genuinely confused. As are the other two who you branded.
I at least help this guy. Like, I need men of strong conviction, but I don't need arrogant assholes who think they're all gusto, who are all gusto. I understand that my words may sound cheap and ineffectual, but I do care about everything I've said, and everything I hold dear is the city. Will you help me protect it, even though I am asking you to do something that you have long since held to be evil?
It's like, may I ask something of you?
Of course.
How are you an archbishop so ready and so willing to just ignore what you've been taught for what you and we have all been taught for all of our lives. You believe in the same creator we do. You are taught the same things we do. How is it that you are so ready and willing and to just so easily forget it all?
I never said I forgot. I never forget. I've never forgotten what the church has done or has done to me. Has done to me. I learned by the whip. I learned by the stick. I learned by the fire. I'm not saying that I've forgotten. But I think now is the time that change needs to occur. And then I'm saying that we are to forget and forget all the transgressions that evil has done. Evil is evil. But if you're telling me that I must choose between letting mages into our city, into our homes, and into our tables, or letting devils massacre the civilians of the city that we have chosen, in the country we've chosen to protect, which evil do you think I'll allow?
He thinks about that for a second, but then answers loudly and proudly, I will fight with you.
Thank you, brother. And I do the arm grab, like,
Mm-hmm.
we are brothers in arms and brothers of faith. Let that carry us to victory against this monstrosity.
Roll a performance check for all of this. Or if you don't have performance, just roll a straight charisma check.
I'm taking my seat.
I don't have performance.
Well, then just roll a straight charisma check.
Alright. That is a total of 18.
Okay. Okay, that was a very rousing performance you gave, and the point has settled in as many of the witch hunters start talking amongst themselves about like their own definitions of what is and what is not truly evil. And some still have opinions of you, but you've made your points, and they're listening.
I then turned to one of the witch hunters. Gentlemen, please escort these two infantry men to General Radon so they can be assigned their posts. They are very experienced combatants, and I'm sure he will use them to their utmost.
They do. They let the third one go, and unless there's
And then I turn to the crowd. I'm like, brothers, sisters, thank you for your time today. I apologize that you had to witness something that none of us would like to see, but a point had to be made, and a point was made. Go with the Creator and do the good work that we all know He wants of us. You're all dismissed.
Very well. I was honestly expecting you to get some other members of the party involved in that, but you actually handled that in-house rather excellently. So
That's Enzo has to prove the point. Enzo is on a teetering, on the very tip of survival and being pulled out of his office in the middle of the day and crucified somewhere in prison.
Okay.
And
we will
must be made as long as we don't make them eat each other. I think they'll go along with it.
See, nobody knows about that. No one else in the party knows of what Enzo likes to do in his spare time.
Now,
You cut up a few hookers, and then they label you a psychopath.
I don't care.
so we will move on from
I'm
there.
doing my part.
So we'll move on from there to the enhanced interrogation. So we're not gonna need any grand setup for this, like we did with the obstacle course. Like all that's gonna happen is like we're gonna decide who goes in what order. Like you can all decide if you want to be present or not, and I need you guys just to tell me what you do to them so that I can roll saving throws for them.
All right, Mike, who did you want having nightmares?
I want the people that fail. The people that failed, which I think I posted earlier right there.
Yeah.
Barring Aerith, because that was clever, so I won't punish her as much. But everyone that failed is going to get grabbed pretty quickly afterwards, and will have nightmares in that way. Everyone that passed in some way, if they almost passed, they get a day. If they passed fully, like Flea, for example, they'll get a day and a half or 2 days of rest before they're grabbed, and they won't get nightmares. Only the
Okay.
people that failed get nightmares.
All right. So
do you want the actual nightmares to do damage and also fatigue damage? Because whenever they go into interrogation, they're going to be fatigued. If we
Yeah.
do nightmares.
Yes, they shouldn't have failed.
Okay.
all right. Let me look at the nightmare spell just so that I can see what it does.
Shouldn't have been
I
up
posted
her own
it earlier.
ass thinking she was better than everyone.
Oh, you did. I'm thinking. Okay, there it is.
There's more to it. Hang on, let me find. No, like that with saves and stuff that I gotta do. Let's see. Nightmare. Let's see. No, not Sweet Dream. There we go.
You can't just torture your recruits. I'm not here to know.
Takes me 10 minutes. They gotta be asleep. I send a hideous and unsettling phantasmal vision. Nightmare prevents restful sleep. 1d10 of damage. And the nightmare leaves the subject fatigued and able to regain arcane spells for the next 24 hours. That could be useful. Let's see. And if I know these people, let's see. The difficulty of the save depends on your knowledge of the subject and the physical connection, if any. Okay, so if I know these people, then... Familiar, you know the subject well, so firsthand, you have met the subject, so that'd be +0 for their will save.
Okay. So
So
all right. So
likeness, so body, so
just tell me what your DC is, and I'll do the math based on how well you know these people. Because most of these people you do, only some of them you don't.
okay. Mike, can you give me some of their hair? This helps the spell a lot if I have a connection with them.
Sure.
I won't have you roll a stealth check for that, Mike. I'll just say that you're very easily able to get it.
I just
Okay,
grab
so
it.
unlimited, one
No!
creature, instantaneous. I just send it to them, and then the difficulty of the save depends on your knowledge.
Yeah. Just tell me what your default save DC is, and then I'll roll the saving throws accordingly for each of them.
I'm trying to figure that out because with these modifiers, it's like both.
Let's see. This
Don't sleep.
This is a 5th level spell. Your spellcasting modifier in this case is your intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
What's your intelligence modifier?
+4.
So your spell save DC for this spell would be a 19, and depending on yeah, I have the thing in front of me.
But since I'm so +0 since I met the subject, I think these are for them to save, so they would get bonuses. Yeah. But they have a -10 to their save because Mike gave me part of their hair.
All right, I see it. All right, so let me roll a willpower save.
Will save. There we go.
Yeah. Let me roll a will save for each of them so that we can see how well each of them do. First up is Vess, which Nox you are very familiar with because she's been on several adventures with you guys.
Okay, so then if I'm very familiar with them, then another -5, so she gets -15 from me.
Okay. Next up is Creed.
Do I know Creed?
Don't. A little bit. Lita knows her better than you. Don't worry about.
If I know very well, then it's -15. But if it's someone I've only just met today and have a piece of their hair from Mike, then it's just -10 to their roll.
Okay. So Reza is listed as a pass. Boris is a pass. That's only in Sergei is a pass. Koya is a fail. So let's roll for him.
Is he one of the Russians?
Yeah, he is. So but he rolled a natural 1, so he rolled a natural 1, so it doesn't matter. Let's see. There's Potato. Wow, every single one of these guys is rolling for dumbass on this spell save. Even Potato, who you didn't know at all.
God, what's the spell resistance that they need to roll?
I think you said it was 19, but they have negatives because I know them.
Yeah.
And also
I'm
gave
fine.
me their hair.
You're like, this test is too hard. What are you talking about? I'm fine. I'll just
how is Gaius the only one thus far who has succeeded the saving throw for this?
Because he's trying his best.
He's used to dealing with trauma.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, so that just leaves Aerith, and she actually also succeeded. So good on her. Okay, so we got we have on the menu for this first round Vess, Creed, Kolya, Potato, Gaius, and Eris. Which one do you guys want to interrogate first?
And I forget what fatigue does. Does anybody have that thing listed?
It gives them penalties to various skill checks. It's kind of like exhaustion.
Okay. And also, I got to roll for their D10 of damage too.
Don't worry about that. Just because like damage isn't that big of a part of this, unless you want to kill them. Do you want to kill them?
No, I don't think a D10 is going to kill any of these characters.
Well, I mean it won't. But like, since you guys are deliberately trying not to kill them, don't worry too much about damage. I'll tell you if they pass out from everything you do. All right. So, like I asked, which one do you guys want to interrogate first?
What is the list again?
Let's see. Vess, Creed, Kolya, Potato, Gaius, and Aerith.
So beef with Vess. I'll go interrogate her.
Well, oh no, like all of you are going to be in the room interrogating one person at a time, so that you can do all of your worst things to her. I'm asking, like, which one do you want to start with?
Oh.
So yeah, like every single one of these guys is going to get their turn with all of you. That's how this is going to work.
Should we all go with remember our old masks when we were raiding the Merry Mermaid? Should we all just be wearing those surrounding them when they wake up?
I'm gonna need a bigger mask right there. That's a little tiny.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't be difficult for you guys to get masks.
But yeah, like the ones we wore when we were raiding the Merry Mermaid, we all had like a payday type thing going on.
So, yeah, if you guys want Payday or Hotline Miami style masks, I'll just say you get them. Like, those would not be difficult to requisition.
Hey, Mike, maybe I can make the nightmare be like leading up into this, so they wake up from the nightmare of all these masked figures doing stuff to them, and they wake up and they think they're still dreaming.
All right. Since none of you are picking, do you guys want me to pick for you?
Let's
Sure.
do a Russian man.
Between the Russians, you have Potato and you have Kolya. Do you want to interview the lolly?
Well, we're gonna have to at some point.
Yeah.
All right.
She's a child waking up from a nightmare. Let's make this even more miserable for her, and we'll punch her in the gut.
Okay, so Potato has been chosen. So,
What was her nightmare?
Well, her nightmare is up to you, but before that, I want to ask, Malediction, how, when, and in what way do you just suddenly grab Potato to be interrogated? Mike?
Yes. What? Sorry.
How,
Yes.
How, it's like, how, when, and in what way do you just suddenly grab Potato to be tortured and interrogated?
Does it smell like chloroform? No.
No.
Well, I'll be ashamed if you weren't able to get a full night's sleep because you fucked up.
Because like the way I imagine this happening is just like you went through the obstacle course, they all got a day, Enzo did his thing, and then they all woke up. They just go about their day like nothing's going on, and then just suddenly, without warning, each of them is just going to be like,
Who said they get a full night's sleep? If you fail,
Oh!
you just sleep.
so you're just gonna go in and grab them.
Whoever failed one will get about half a night of sleep because she was clever right there. Potato gets none. She fucked up so badly.
Yeah, the nightmare doesn't even let them get rest, even if they were asleep for like a few minutes. It's like, oh yeah, you didn't sleep.
Okay, so what I'll say happens. So what I'll say happens is that you let Potato get like a single hour of sleep just to let the nightmare set in, so that it does its thing, and then like while she right as she's waking up in fright, the thing she wakes up to is just
right in the face.
So Nox, what was her nightmare?
I have to individualize this shit. Does Potato strike me as a thing? She seems rough and tumble. I'll send her like something overly happy that she wouldn't like, but it's creepy as hell. Like, I don't know, singing teddy bears or some shit. Like, come play with us. Ah! Like something to freak her the fuck out.
No, hold on,
Potato's nightmare. Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Yeah.
No, her nightmare is a demented variation of this. That's actually Potato, by the way, Grant.
I know Potato is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just freak her out with that. Like this is because of your failures. This is why you're dancing.
Uh-huh. Also, in her nightmare, she's actually a Figma model.
Oh god, yeah, make her a puppet.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Potato. When Potato next wakes up, she is bound, gagged, probably blindfolded if you want her to be, and is tied to a chair, alone in a room with all of you who have donned cloaks and Payday / Hotline Miami style masks.
I haven't.
And she has a big headache.
I am wearing a military uniform. No mask.
Okay, so
Spoil sport.
So again, just so that you're all involved and you're doing this together, I will say the party is there as a whole. Yes, even you, Enzo.
And I have the truth serum ready.
So she is at your mercy. Go nuts.
Oh God! Wait, what? What'd I miss? Moral obligations.
In this
Get out.
crew?
In this fucking evil campaign, get the hell out. I
What a
replaced
man.
a moral character for this? Yeah.
Who's
I just feel like there are steps we could have taken before torturing a child.
Resnia's Potato surrogate mother.
What'd you say,
Yeah.
Charlie?
Like, she's pretty much
I just feel like
Potato's
there's-
the mother within the Shadowverse.
I just feel like there's steps we could have taken before torturing a child.
I mean, hey, as
That's how I
stated,
feel.
I was a child at one point. I got tortured, and I'm perfectly fine.
I would also like to point out that despite being a child, Potato has actually gone and volunteered for the war effort. She signed the stationery and everything. She's gone through the basic training. She's actually proven herself to be the best shot with a rifle. So yeah, despite being a child, she's already well it in with everyone else.
Get good. Scrub.
So yeah, I'm not gonna.
Torture.
So yeah, like there's no real instruction here. So like whoever wants to do something or say something, just go nuts. You're up.
I'm only grabbing them. It's up to you guys.
Lady
Okay.
should start
Enzo,
off. What do the numbers mean, Potato? What do they mean?
Who wants to torture a potato?
I think this is a job left for Enzo.
Wow.
Enzo,
experience in
torture
torturing
the
children.
potato.
What?
Make her humble.
Oh my god. You didn't realize that Enzo's brand of torture is like physical torture, right?
Well, and psychological.
I'll step
I
it.
literally go up to Anaris. You know my bits of torture is physical, and Anaris' response, "Yeah, I had a year of that."
Okay, what's the point of the torture? What are we trying to instill in her with this? That's what we got.
Provide.
We're not torturing her, we're interrogating her.
We're interrogating
What's the
her.
point of it, though? Like, what are we trying to push her to realize?
Not to break.
Yeah.
Anaris went through this shit.
Fine, I'll do it.
Works.
So hold on. So just make sure you told them something that they can't tell us, right?
Yes, I have given them a secret. We'll say I gave them a secret,
Mhm.
and if they tell you the secret, they fail.
All right, fine. Enzo will step
Yeah,
up to
the truth
potato,
serum, too.
and Enzo will start with potato.
Okay.
And remember, the truth serum will be used a little later in the test. If they still don't fail the point, we'll insert the truth serum. And if they're clever enough to, while having the truth serum, which you can literally tell them this is a truth serum, and it will make you tell you everything, blah, blah, blah. They can be clever about a truth serum.
They do have 2 saves in order. If they pass it, they don't have to answer.
So
All right. Well, Enzo said he's already stepped up. So go for it, Enzo.
X going to give it to you.
Zone of truth.
Okay. Let me look up the specifics for Zone of Truth to see what the save is.
No, we're not.
No one's gonna pass this test if we start right off with a magic.
Oh, that's the point. We're dealing with magic people.
Yeah. You're dealing with people who are gonna just throw magic like bullets. So
Plus, when have you known Enzo to ever not to ever do anything half-assed?
The other
okay,
day.
so all right. So will negates. Oh. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, but she doesn't have she's not fatigued or anything, right?
She's not what?
Is potato fatigued, or does she has any negatives? Or
Fatigued.
She is
debuffs?
she is fatigued because of the nightmare spell.
Okay, all right.
But yeah. I rolled her save. So yeah.
All right. Is she's still asleep, right? Or is she awake?
Oh no, she's awake now.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I
Hello.
suppose I should ask: is she bound, gagged, like blindfolded in any way?
Bound. Bound, but not gagged or blindfolded. I like to
Okay.
make sure they can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I walk up. Hello.
Hello.
What?
You hit like little girl. No, I be saying that you hit like puppies. Stolichny and little girls hit harder.
Okay. Enzo pulls out a sleeve. Like it looks like a thieves' tools kit.
Mm-hmm.
He pops it open, and inside are long metal needles, very thin.
I think I know what you're going with this.
Just don't damage your trigger finger.
I'm a healer, dude. It's fine.
Yeah, like whatever you guys do to her here, you can heal her from it.
So I take out
this.
I take out two. I'm like, and then I tap her nails with the metal with the metal spike.
Jesus.
Just like
Alright.
Potato know exactly what you're going to do with those. What do you want from Potato?
Malediction. Told you something. I want to know what it is.
Go. It's like go and ask her yourself.
Okay. I take the needle
Oh, Jesus.
and I stab it on the inside of her thigh.
Ow.
I mean, I'll roll for damage for that. Oh, okay. Also, just because you're used to screams of pain, that's louder than a stab. She's exaggerating the screams of pain. It's like she's being unreasonably loud on purpose.
Not genuine. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I take the other needle
Mm-hmm.
and I go to her forearm and I take it and I just drag it right up her forearm.
It's like potatoes are it hurts so much. It's like this is only needle, not Stolichny and bear. This is fine. This is fine.
Break her.
I then take the needle and I stab it into her elbow. And I should explain this. I'm putting it this way.
Oh, okay. Actually, since you're doing it that. Oh, it's like okay. That was good. That one was good.
What real pain?
I'm working.
Be better people. What the fuck are we doing?
You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
I'm 100% okay with this.
Potato,
We're not distracting.
please tell me what Anaris said. Or please tell me what Malediction said.
Okay. I'll tell you. She said that Potato has bigger sausage than you. I don't understand why she would tell Potato this, but I am woman, you are man. It makes no sense.
How long do we give them to resist the torture before we make them a pass?
That's actually a good question, Mike. At what point do you consider them a pass?
Mike?
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
At what point do you consider enough resistance to be a passing grade?
Well, now we induce the. Did you already induce the truth serum?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Zone of truth
Induce
mode.
the truth serum.
Well,
All right. Okay. So double the effects of truth.
So yeah, Knox
All right.
comes up with in his mask and he's got the stuff. He's not gonna jam it in like Enzo's been doing. He's gonna do it like a doctor with it.
It is like
as he's doing that, I stab her armpits with a needle in each armpit.
What the fuck, dude?
I do it sideways. I do it sideways to get as many nerves as possible.
It's like, okay. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna say like you don't have to roll to like inject this into someone who's struggling because you've probably done that before, Nox.
And we have her tied up too.
All right, let me roll a fortitude saving throw for the effects of the You watch as her eyes glaze over. Is she's definitely still feeling the pain, but she's still also like looks loopy, just like
Say so. Anaris needs you. A malediction needs you to tell us what she told you. You have to relay the message. As I whisper into your ear.
You gotta ask it as a question.
What did she say?
She told Potato. She told Potato that she failed obstacle course tests. She said she did not like my solution.
Not quite. I then proceed to take. I proceed to then put a needle into between every toe. Potato. What secret did Potato? What secret did malediction tell you?
And she's got to beat a 13, I think, for the truth serum.
Oh. Well, I actually have to roll 2 saves for her because one's for the truth serum, one's for the torture. It's like,
but if she passes the fortitude from the truth serum, she doesn't have to answer anymore after each question.
I am going to say just for a visual, her pupils are still dilated and she definitely still looks loopy because she's still under the effect of a drug.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she just potato with that just goes. Well, this is nothing. Stolici and Winter, if you're not careful, freezes your toes off. Very literally.
And she is speaking the truth because she still is under the effect. She just doesn't have to answer the questions.
He's like, Potato's no stranger to pain. You think Potato will break easily because she is child. It is not you who will break Potato. It is Potato who will break you.
I pull out all the needles. And then I take my hand and cup her cheek.
Sorry, I have dominate person. I can probably get her to say something that way.
Oh, that's the easy part. Once you get the magic, that's the easy part. But so I take out all the needles.
Why are we holding off on magic? Why are we stabbing her with needles?
That's
because
why.
you can't.
We got all the resistances.
You can't see it by Enzo's mouse, but Enzo's kind of having fun. Enzo hasn't let off steam in a while, so he's having fun right now. So he
hand up to the torture.
Enzo's wearing baggy pants today for a reason.
The cloak wasn't to mask who I was. It was to mask what was under the cloak.
Yeah.
So I pull out all the needles and I cut Potato's like, "Oh, Potato, you've done a wonderful job. Let's see how you do the pressure points." And I stab all my needles into each one of the pressure points that I know causes pain. And I do them.
Okay.
And I do them
That's enough.
Yeah, did she
acutely.
pass?
Oh dear. Oh, she
I mean, she
didn't.
doesn't have
She
to answer
didn't.
truthfully anymore, but Jesus.
I had her roll 4 times just to make this even more difficult. She did not roll below a 15.
God damn, girl! What did they do to this poor child in Stolichia?
Oh,
She's Boris's cousin. What more do you want to know?
I know, but Boris isn't this fucked up. What happened to this poor kid?
I pull out all of the needles, and I turn over to Malediction. I'm like, if I keep going, I'm going to kill her. You want to call it here?
Say, stop, you psychopath!
Wait, who said that?
Enzo.
Enzo was asking.
Enzo.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
no,
was all in
she's
character.
there watching from her side. I give it a 6 out of 10.
She can handle physical pain just fine. If I go any farther, I'll end up killing her.
I want her dead. She's too.
We all agreed to doing this.
She's too fucking arrogant. It will be her death. I should know. That's how I almost died.
I don't think so, Malediction. I think she can actually handle pain very well.
Training to prevent problems down the road.
See, physical pain isn't the solution here. As I go around, I put my hand on this roll, I'm like, magical pain might be different. But I don't think pain is what we should be doing here. We should be doing the other kind of torture.
Gabrielle?
But that's not my area of expertise. So, I'll heal her up and let somebody else have a go at her if you like. Also, I will dismiss myself, and I need to go find my restaurant. Bye! Enzo leaves.
What the fuck?
Okay, so
Don't want that thought in my head. Don't want that thought in my head.
luckily for you, Lashinon is not difficult to
before
We'll
he
get to that
leaves,
find. Okay.
before he leaves,
Mm-hmm.
Lashinon reading Lita reading the room,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yes.
after you're done fucking your cat,
Odd way to put it, but okay.
he says that. Lita just says that flat as a fucking board.
Is she technically your
After
cat?
you say that, Potato looks straight at you, Malediction, and knowing that you're close with the priest, she asks, "He's like, he fucks the cats?"
And I
Lita, she's your cat, technically, but, your point?
Oh,
Oh, God, no.
he is not as fucked up as Onion Boy.
On your boy's Greg.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
This is another irrelevant YouTuber.
Yeah.
Here, we're gonna bring in our premier torturer. Hey, you want $5?
I fold. Who knows what I could do?
But
with this $5?
Lita says,
Lita, she's technically your cat, but go on.
yes, however, she's not. Yes, however, I know for a fact that she doesn't charge you to get her rocks off. So therefore, she's your cat. Now, however, when this insanity points back at Malediction is done with, I need 30 of your best healers for a side project.
Send me a message. We'll see what I got.
Good.
That is a conversation that is best to have after all this and after Enzo
Yeah,
gets
Lita.
knocked off.
Yeah, Lita. Lita dismissed You're dismissed.
And Enzo walks out of the room to go take care of some business.
Potato looks back at Lita as she re-enters the room and just says, "It does not matter what happens to Potato now. If I go on many successful missions, if I die, if I get tortured, I will never be able to remove the image of that priest having sex having sex with a cat away out of Potato's mind. And I will always hold that over him and you, points to Malediction, forever.
So we should have just described sex acts with animals, and that would have broken her.
Okay, Gabrielle, you're up.
Okay. Well,
Kick the
she
other.
has moral objections to torture, so she's just going to use dominate person. Do I need to roll for that, or do I just give you the spell?
Uh,
It's a will
No, just-
save, ain't
just-
it? Yeah.
just tell me the spell save DC, and I have to roll for her.
Okay, let me math.
Wait, isn't dominate
23?
person you can only say one word commands?
I thought you could say phrases, but let me double check. Basic commands. Is
So-
tell me not a basic command?
Doesn't it
Yeah,
say one word?
Yeah, I'll count that as a basic command. Yeah.
It's just tell me the secret.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the
All right.
secret.
All right. So, what's your save DC for this?
23.
Oh. Okay.
Obvious self-destructive orders are not carried out.
It's
with
like-
the range of which
I was like, okay. It's like, you walk over to Potato. It's like, what you going to do to Potato? Potato hasn't doing much. Certainly more than that priest could. And then you just hold your hand out in front of her, Kylo Ren style, and then she just shuts up. And you watch as her eyes roll back into her head for a second, but then they go back, and she just is completely stone faced and silent.
So that did not succeed?
No, it did. She is under the effect. You know this because you've used the spell. She is under the effect of dominate person.
But also, whenever you give a command, subjects resist control if they are forced to take actions against their nature.
She has to roll. She has to roll a saving throw every time she does something that's against something she would normally do. But you can still command them to do it, and they have to roll a saving throw each time.
And she gets a
Yeah.
+2 to it if she doesn't, if it's against her nature. There we go.
But, well, also as long as she's under the effect of your spell, you can give her the same command multiple times, and she would have to roll the save each time.
Dance.
Yeah, I figured Gabrielle could try at least 3 times.
Alright.
I mean, technically there's no limit, so she could just keep trying, but I don't know how
Alright.
unfair we want to be.
Well, I mean that's up to you. I mean, Enzo handed the reins over to you, so like, how unfair do you want to be with Potato?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep doing it. If she resists like maybe 5 times, then I might change tactics. But
Alright.
Gabrielle is definitely a catch more flies with honey person, so she's not going to hurt her.
All right. So, what simple command do you give to her?
Gabrielle comes close and just like places a very gentle hand on her shoulder and says, "Tell me the secret."
Ew.
Okay.
Maybe you should have been
So-
more specific.
No, it's fine. Potato looks up at you just like she. It looks like she's just staring into space for a minute. Then she starts to speak. She's like, "Potato, the secret that Malediction told to Potato was that she. It looks like she's struggling, but then after a minute or so of struggling, she eventually says that she's the secret was that the secret number is 9, and Malediction, that is the secret that you told her. She would not break with physical torture, but she rolled for dumbass on her saves against magic.
All
She's
right.
broken.
All right. Not a complete failure, but
And they don't know that I can give them potions later to help them with that.
that's somewhat of a pass because they survived everything up to that, which is the worst part of torture.
We should work on her resistance to magic. That's the first thing Elle's going to use. And get
Yeah.
her a healer. We aren't barbarians.
I healed her.
Yeah, I have several.
Yeah.
on staff.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I healed her after I left. There was no point in keeping her
Okay,
in
I missed
a
that.
bad way.
That's good.
I brought healers. We're good.
I can give her sweet dream now, which will actually make her have a relaxing dream. If we're done with her.
We're done with her. And that was
We're not
holy.
done.
Okay.
Potion of don't develop PTSD.
Basically, you want to know the funny
Cheese
thing is?
potato.
You want to know what funny thing about Sweet Dream is? You forget the last. I think it's the last 10 minutes before you passed out.
Perfect.
All right. So
She'll forget the cat problem.
Yes, she will.
all right. So that is potato.
Or Cat's
You also
remembrance of that, because now she doesn't remember the torture at all. It's like
You-
it never happened.
Yeah. So okay. So next up we have we have Ves, we have Creed, we have Kolya, we have Gaius, and we have Aerith. Which one do you guys want to torture this time?
Who do you think would
Burchill wants
break
to
up-
interrogate Vass.
What'd you
What?
say?
I said Burchill wants to interrogate Vass.
All right.
Okay. Any objections to Ves?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, all right. Well, as Enzo has excused himself to satiate his more base desires,
Which Potato will never remember.
Yeah, which Potato will never remember.
Which is good.
So yeah, like she said she was going to commit the cat fucking to memory, but because of the effect of your sweet dream potion, she's forgotten it.
Eh.
So Burchill, Ves is taken by malediction, bound to a chair, and do you want her gagged or blindfolded?
No.
Okay, so
Burchill's just going to sit right across from her with his hands in the Gendo Akari pose.
okay. Are you wearing a mask or is it just you?
I mean, it is going to be just him.
Okay, so it's just so you look at her, and she looks at you, and she looks at me, and I look at him, and she looks at me, and I look at him, and before eventually she lets out a sigh and just says, whatever it is you're going to do, just get it over with.
Honestly, considering knowing your past and how quickly you folded to that Inquisitor, I don't think it's worth the effort. So how about you save time for both of us and just tell me what malediction told you?
Just like,
You're already not going to be of any use to us, so you might as well stop wasting our time.
it's like, I know you still blame me for that. You think I don't carry that failure with me every single day? Every time I see any of you, the looks you give me just remind me of it. I still see all three of their faces when I close my eyes. It's okay. It's okay. I don't blame you. It's just I won't. Then she looks back up at you with a more determined look. I will not fail you again.
Do you really think I will believe that?
It
One of
doesn't.
my allies, a close friend of mine, is dead because you couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut.
I know. I was there in the room. I saw him pull the trigger, and that death will always be on me. No, but no one else has to die because of me. But do you really think I haven't decided? Do you really think I haven't decided to follow her? I tried. I I I was minutes away from doing it too. But you, but your but your fr- but your friend Lita found me. She forbid me from doing it. She said that living was a much worse punishment, and she was right. If if you so as long as I get to live, I won't fail like I did before.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see that. Burchill snaps his finger, knocks injector.
All right. Grant, you're up.
Yeah, we inject the true serum.
Is it all right? Rolling a fortitude saving throw. Okay. She is injected. You watch as her eyes glaze over for a little bit. Your pupils dilate, but go on. He's like,
Now, are you really sure that you have the fortitude to actually handle this? Because let's be honest here, I'm being way more merciful than any elf would be who captures you. So, are you g- so you mu- so are you gonna stop wasting our time in a minute, or will you actually prove your worth? What did malediction tell you to keep from us?
she just looks at you and opens her mouth, but then she closes it. Thinks. Just and then says this. I know what you did. The Inquisitor tried a similar trick on me. That it was what got me to break the last time. Not again. And she says nothing else.
Anyone
There's
else
a
want to
guy-
step in? Because that's all Burchill has.
Well, she's already beaten the true serum. We gotta do dominate person next. But do you have anything
Yep.
else to say to her?
You only asked her one question under the effect of dominate person. She still has to roll another saving throw. So yeah, Lita, you want to step in?
I'll step in.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mhm.
I guess Lita steps forward.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Vess.
Vest doesn't say anything. You can. I'll just say this. You could tell from the look on her face that she's perfectly aware of what drug you've injected to her and what its effects are. So she's deliberately not speaking.
I see you're playing smart. Good on you. Good on you. Here's the thing. Do you want to know a little trick I've picked up in my years of travel?
She's still not saying anything.
Lita leans in close to her ear and then says, "For what I'm about to do, I am so sorry." And then leans back. In my years of travel, I have picked up a number of gifts, a number of things. Did you know that I have acquired the means by which to perform the Modify Memory spell?
She still doesn't say anything, but she looks worried.
If you talk, I can make any memory you want go away. I can remove the pain, the guilt. of you having to sit and watch Gid die. I can remove your pain and suffering. All you have to do is tell me what malediction told you. Do this for me, and I can make it all go away.
James T. Kirk walks in and makes an impassioned speech about how you can't take away his pain. He needs his pain.
And while Lita is doing this, Lita brushes her hand lightly up against Vess's cheek.
I'm gonna say for this, roll me a charisma check. Actually, like whatever you think would be used to persuade someone to do something, because that's a very
Diplomacy.
compelling argument. Yeah, roll diplomacy. Yeah, roll
That's
diplomacy.
Yeah, Gid's like, yeah, no one gave a shit but Burchill. They don't even care I died probably.
25.
Vest stares at you for a long time, doesn't say anything, and for a moment it does look like that will get her. But then her eyes drop to her feet, and she refuses to look at you. And it's about time I need to roll another saving throw for the effect of the truth serum. Okay.
It all ends if you just tell me, Vess. All of it. The guilt, your suffering.
Still nothing. She's still not taking it.
Hell, we got a powerful enough sorcerer now at our side. I could make the memory go away. And Lita leans in close. And I could raise her from the dead. It'll be as if the sin is no longer yours to bear. And all of the pain and suffering will go away. And you will live free. Guilt-free. No
You can't resurrect Gid. You can't resurrect Gid. She's currently in another
She
universe.
doesn't know
Give it
that.
I can
She
chance
doesn't
by
fuck-
some messed up.
I don't
Yeah,
know
that's true.
that. She don't know that.
Yeah, it's all like, wait a minute, Nicolas Cage did what? Wait, well, I'm getting feedback loop. Ah! Like
But-
Lita's head explodes.
But Lita goes, the guilt, the sin, the pain, all of it goes away if you just tell me what malediction told you.
Should that be a deception check?
Technically, no. She's like,
Wait, can Lita literally raise the dead now?
No!
Well, that would be
I'm
deception.
bullshitting through my teeth!
So that would be
well,
deception.
then roll a bluff check.
Rolling bluff.
Well, we don't know. You
26.
You raised a skeleton before. Who knows? What-
Skull.
That
It
was
was a
That
skull.
was just a skull, not a full skeleton.
Yeah,
And if I raise the dead... Yeah, and if I raise the dead again, Sariel's gonna take off her slippers and smack me to death.
I can't see that.
Let's
It'll
see.
be like a Mexican granny ninja. She'll whip off her slippers and suddenly there'll be a chain between them and she'll...
But sorry, can I please raise the dead since that orc out there's doing it? No. I
No.
don't care if he's doing that. You do. Not in my household.
Vess looks back up at you, and then asks, If you can do this, will he forgive me? And she just motions with her head over towards Burchill.
I'm gonna lie through my fucking teeth and say yes.
Burchill, are you still in the room?
Wait,
Raising the... Yeah. Lita has literally...
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. When I went to go out help my dad with something, the headphones went out and then messed all the settings up.
All right. So, okay. Since you got to go in like 10 minutes, is there anything you want Nox to say or do to anyone, or before you leave?
Well, Nox was wanting to do like his to one of the characters. His brand of like the interrogation would be like literally putting him in a coffin all bound up and then asking him, and then with a little window and start throwing dirt on top.
Do you want to do that really quickly to the next character before you got to leave?
Yeah, I think I got time.
All right. So since you're leaving, I'll let you pick. You can Creed, Kolya, the last remaining Russian, or Aerith, Burchill's spy.
who's Creed?
Creed is one of the people who works for the underground. He's actually the guy kind of in charge of it since Madanok died.
Okay, so he's used to being underground.
All right. Yeah, and yeah, he failed twice. So
He fails this time, he gets kicked the fuck out.
All right, well, how about I go for the spy? Because I don't know her all that much. She doesn't know me, and then we're gonna move a little area, and then we're gonna be burying her alive.
Okay, so I'm gonna say for this, she wakes up not bound to a chair like the others, but instead she wakes up in a coffin, Kill Bill style, where a slot opens up at the front and there's your face. What do you do?
Well, it's the beat first, but it's I haven't closed the coffin yet. That's gonna be part of it with the nails.
Okay. What do you do before you gotta leave?
All right, with everyone around me, I'm like, does she wake up? What's her reaction upon seeing like the beak face and everyone else around?
So she looks up. She just stares and is like, and she actually says in Elvish, which you can understand. What the fuck?
In Elvish, I'm gonna respond. What did malediction tell you? I say in Elvish to her.
It takes her a few seconds, but eventually it clicks into her head what's going on. Just like, who's malediction? I don't know a malediction.
All right, Nox is gonna lean a little closer. Tell me, or this hurts. I'm still saying in Elvish since the others are kind of in the back in the dark, so maybe she thinks I am an elf.
She just looks up to him and is like, I don't know a malediction, and so I haven't been told anything. How can I do?
I close and then I start hammering the sides, like nailing the lid shut. Tink, 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 tink. Tink, tink, tink.
Okay. This is gonna take a while. Like, it's muffled, but you just hear that from the inside of the coffin.
And then I'm gonna be at the top of it and go, tell me what she said.
Just because of how intimidating this whole situation is, I'm gonna roll a willpower saving throw for her.
Should I roll intimidation then?
If you want to, sure.
Yeah. Also, the fact that I'm saying this all in Elvish to her probably freaks her out.
A little bit, actually, yeah.
She doesn't know what's
That's
going
the
on.
realism. Yeah, it adds to the realism.
My intimidation is plus 15, so that's a 27. Tell me what she said.
Surprisingly, she remains quiet. It just is like, I could tell you some things that Burchill said or that Lita that the field marshal said, but I don't know a malediction, so I can't tell you anything she said.
I'm gonna open up the slit, and then where it's only just seeing right here, and I'm gonna inject the truth serum into that port like real quickly.
Okay, let's roll for her. Okay, so she. All right, so her eyes glaze over. She is affected. What do you ask her?
What is the secret malediction told you? And I'm still saying this Elvish.
It's like this. She's. Malediction said that the secret is that I'm supposed to sneak into Fenrirel's camp and get information on him. Which malediction? That's an interesting because she did technically confess a secret when injected with the truth serum, and she did not lie. But that's not the secret you told her to keep from Nox. So she revealed a secret, just not the correct secret.
She's playing games, isn't she?
Yeah.
All right, so then I'm just gonna put my face up so where she can only barely see it in the darkness, and I'm gonna pull the mask aside to where she sees the eyes, and I'm gonna have them be my actual eyes.
Roll for intimidation because she did not expect that.
That is it's only a what is that? 24.
looks up at you and just immediately like backs away. He's like, "The fuck? No one said anything about monsters."
There are monsters all around us. And just leaving the slit open, basically like that little pane of glass, I'm going to stand up in the darkness where she only sees like the eyes, and I'm going to start throwing dirt. I'm gonna keep doing that for a few minutes, like seeing if she says anything. I'm not gonna say anything to her.
Okay. It's like okay. It's like okay. It's like okay. Like the people. Okay, like the people who work for her named Creed, Gaius. It's just like which malediction. It's weird. She's telling Nox things about you and about your operations, but she's not telling him the thing he wants to know. She's literally telling him everything but that, and it's all true.
Just keep piling on as she keeps saying all the useless info.
Because I'm just gonna tell you, Nox, the truth serum affected her. She rolled for dumbass on that, so she's telling you the truth. She's not telling you the correct truth.
I know. She's being pedantic. And so I'm just gonna keep bearing it and like let her stew on that. And I'm just saying, tell me. And just it's gonna get louder and darker in her little coffin and more suffocating, hopefully.
How can I tell you if you bury me like this?
Very easily. Shout.
She still doesn't say anything.
So whenever most of the I'm gonna bury the eye hole and leave her in complete darkness, and then I'm gonna lean in on the dirt after I let her stew for a while and just the suffocate and go. Tell me what she told you not to say.
All you get is silence.
Then it appears this one's dead. And I'm gonna add more dirt. And then
Still silent.
I'll listen to
Still
see
silence.
if she ever says anything.
No, she doesn't say anything else. And I'll say for the rest of you guys, it gets so eerily quiet that those of you who are watching this start to wonder if she might actually be dead.
I can hear her heartbeat.
Well, I mean, you can, but everyone else can't.
But yeah, after she's been buried while she can't hear me, I'll look over at Malediction. I'm like, and I'll ask, magic next? Or yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna get what's her name, Gabrielle. Or should we dominate her while she's in the coffin?
It's up to you.
How will we hear her?
I'm just gonna scrape a little bit away. Like, do you need to see her?
I think I just need to be within 25 feet. I don't think I need to see her.
You need to know that she's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, all you have to do is know that she's there. And like, she's buried only like a little bit. You'll be able to hear her.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Okay.
So. Okay.
She's held up so far about being buried alive and seeing a monster. So far she's doing good.
All right. So. Rolling to resist dominate person. Weird thing when you open up the face lid and you scrape away some.
Well, I wasn't gonna open it up if she only needs to know she's there.
Okay. So you do this, and well, Nox, you can still hear her heartbeat, so you know she's alive. Gabrielle, you hear no sounds whatsoever. So, like, it's weird. Like, you actually have no idea if it worked because, like, you can't see her, so you can't tell if your spell is working or not. But, like, you know you're affecting something.
I guess Gabrielle shouts to ensure she can be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the secrets.
It's like all you hear from inside the coffin is, nobody hear about us zombies.
Well, I look at Malediction.
Guess it didn't work.
Do we leave leave her in there overnight. She's got air. She'll have an air supply if I put a hose in.
I'm leaving it up to you. As stated, this is minimal.
Yeah, I mean, we did just leave her underground for like 30 minutes, so she does. She's not claustrophobic, at least.
It's up to you. I'm leaving it in your capable hands, as I've done with the rest of these.
Well, yeah, but you're the one that gives them pass-fail, so do you want me to go further beyond, or is this enough?
Judging by the others, I can count this as a pass. Then we can get her.
As you're discussing this, you start to hear a weird sound from inside the coffin. It sounds like the rustling of ropes and chains, and then you just hear
More dirt.
Bad thing is, I've
Zombies are
forgotten
breaking
the
out.
name. Who is she?
Hey, she's pulling an Uma Thurman.
that's actually exactly what she's doing.
Well, that's why we add the cement. But all right, if that's the case, I'm like,
Gosh darn, I'm just gonna kill Bill.
if she's passed, then I guess I'll have to unbury her then. But I'm putting the mask back on.
What's her name again?
Aerith
Yeah.
Yinla.
Oh, didn't expect that.
She handled seeing a monster. She worked around the truth serum by telling other truths, and she resisted dominate person.
She got lucky on the dominate person. Her roll power is not that great.
Well, we don't know that.
Okay.
All right, let's dig her back up before she breaks my coffin.
Ah,
All right.
And
Okay,
I'll hand her after she gets out, I'll hand her a shot of moonshine to take the edge off, and I'll open it up and go.
You actually watch, like, her knuckle is legitimately bloody from trying to punch the lid of the coffin, and actually when you open her, she somehow successfully undid all of her bindings.
She just sees that Nox's beak like nods up and down, and he's gonna mix some moonshine in with a health potion, and he's gonna just hold it out to her silently.
What? What is this?
Drink.
Okay. She just downs the whole thing, and because it's moonshine, she downs the whole thing. She's just like she downs the whole thing and it heals her knuckles, but it's still moonshine. So she's just like, oh, what is this? This is good shit. You got any more?
She's already wobbling. Maybe later.
Oh yeah, she's very much already wobbling.
But yeah, I'm just gonna pat her back and send her towards malediction now.
It's like, hey, it's like, hey, Burchill, you said you were married, right?
Yes.
I got her drunk at the end.
It's like, she rolled a natural 1 for fortitude saving throw in the moonshine.
Hey, how about you tell us that secret now?
Is your wife open to the idea of threesomes?
I never ran it past her, so I wouldn't know.
Would it be rude to ask?
I ain't gonna bring it up. No.
Hey, maybe
Not
if you tell us what malediction told you, maybe he'd be open to it.
Would you? She's waiting for an answer, Burchill.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not gonna bring it up, especially when she's pregnant.
Okay then. Well, just you're really hot. So the offer's on the table anytime before I gotta leave to infiltrate Fenharel, and she's just gonna wander on out of there.
Note to self: no booze for this one.
Well, she can't actually handle her booze, like I said. She just rolled a natural 1.
She succeeded on dominate person, but a shot of moonshine. Maybe it's the
Yes.
adrenaline. She was like, she was all like she's dehydrated from being buried alive.
And trying to Uma Thurman her way out of the coffin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alrighty, yeah, I gotta get stuff ready here in a second. So, is there anything else you guys need from me?
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
All right.